Dun, 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 dun. My name's Smurf. Welcome to the stream. Do, do. Okay, what's up, folks? It's your boy MMG Smurf here, coming to you live. And if you didn't notice, that was a new little trophy rotation we had there. Let's look at that go. Woo! We just finished this boy. Now, this is the trophy for our Gods Unchained events and potentially for like the rest of our blockchain events as well. So we might just be using like old school computer disk trophies. Now, friend, the Switch trophy, when we're playing Switch games, aka Smash Bros, we use this other trophy here. You notice a little bit different there. So this is the trophy that we use for Switch, and then we got our own different trophy for when we do these blockchain games. I still got to add a background to this and stuff like that, but I'm saying I just wanted to have it out here because it's looking so sexy. Give people an idea of that. And what does this mean, Smurf? Oh my goodness, if you're talking about new trophies and stuff like that, then obviously you must have a new event. Well, we do. We have a new event, and so that's myself. But let's look at this. What? You can enter this new event. It's our new Smash Bros. Or not Smash Bros. Gods Unchained event. It's on the same website that we host our Smash Bros. Events, which is smash.gg. That's kind of where I got tongue twisted there. You can find the link to this in the Money Match Gaming Discord server. Join our Discord server, and you'll find that link in the top left-hand corner. I'm also going to drop it in chat right here real quickly. Just drop it in chat. Let's drop it in chat real quick. And there's that. The homepage gives you some more information on the event itself. So if you want to read about the event, ooh, this looks beautiful. Wow, it looks great. Good job, Smurf. Read about the event. What we have planned for the event. Read about how the trophies work, etc. This first event, will be open to all decks and ranks. But in the future, whether it's on the same day or on different days, yet to be determined. But we will be sorting out the bracket in different ways so that it's a little bit more competitive for everybody, and so everybody feels like there's a reason for them to attend these events. Because I know, some people might get a little bit discouraged when you're like, oh, I'm just gonna go up against a mythic and lose. But we want to make it fun and friendly for everybody. And maybe this is your first time playing against a mythic player, if they do tend to join our event, and so you'll at least be able to see what that type of deck is like. Also at Money Match Gaming, I should mention, we do things a little bit differently, where we do have a Discord bot. Currently this feature is being worked on, but hopefully it'll be done by the time we have our event on April 10th. But that feature allows people to register you can always register for the tournament for free and everything, but you can also choose to join our tournaments as ticket tournaments, which means that you forego some of your tickets to sign up for the event. And then you're able to earn tickets per round of the tournament. So as long as you win, the way that that's set up, as long as you win 2 games in the tournament, you'll be in profit in tickets. So every game after your first 2 wins in the tournament is just all profit in tickets, and you're just earning more and more tickets. And what do you want tickets for at Money Match Gaming? You want those tickets so that you can claim things like gift cards or cash prizes, or so that you can play against other opponents, in our matchmaking system, which is 24/7. And so the tickets work for the matchmaking system, which makes it somewhat like a money match system, but utilizing our points and reward system, tickets. So there's all that fun, dandy information. We're going to get into some Gods Unchained now. Play some weekend ranked. What else I want to say about that? Hopefully I don't lose too much. We do have a giveaway going today. If you're interested in that type exclamation giveaway in the stream chat, you do need to be in Money Match Gaming's Discord for us to deliver you the prize for today's event. And so do join our Discord. Not only is that for your own benefit so that you can stay in the loop with things in Money Match Gaming, but also it just makes it easier for us to contact you. So other than it being a real contact thing, I was like, it's nice for the community too. You're getting free Ethereum. Why not join the Discord? If you want to be really shady, just leave after I contact you. But, there's something there for everybody, especially if you're in the blockchain. Cool. Now, usually during these streams, I play a little bit of music while game. But today, and most recently, we've been listening to just a bunch of videos that I like to stock up in my watch later section. I like listening to them in 2x speed. Notice I talk kind of fast. But I like to listen to them in 2x speed. That way we get all the information in, because there's hours worth of video that I stock up here. I'm reading through this right now. That's 30, 40, 50... 2 hours, 1 hour and 20, 30, 40, Yeah, it'll be about 2.5 hours or so like that of content. And so it's going to squish this all down to be about 50 minutes, an hour, 50 minutes or so worth of content instead. Yeah. So we're going to start off with some altcoin daily. Then we're going to move into some Russell Brand. Steven Van Metre, who's like kind of just a greater macroeconomic type of guy. I'm sure he wouldn't call himself a financial advisor or anything like that, but just covering the greater financial stuff. Savvy Finance, which is just a channel that likes to cover a lot of Michael Saylor and other people like big influencers in the tech and financial sector. Crypto Mischief, DeFi Degen guy who make that money. James Pelton, found this guy who they also a DeFi Degen, but they like to stay on the gaming side of things, I believe. The Drip Farm, which has been a somewhat controversial topic figure in the DeFi Degen space recently, where they started a channel and named it the Drip Farm so they could siphon the drip community. And then they like to use tactics like kind of like what a lot of normie and muggle influencers like to use to combat against crypto or NFTs, or just to get views, whether or not they just don't know anything about crypto and NFTs. But how they get views is they start up a channel and they start talking negative about crypto or NFTs because that's trendy as fuck. And they just get an audience from that. Crypto Talk, talking about elephant money stampede. Only the Savvy. I think that's different than Savvy Finance. Yep. Another Michael Saylor reacting to Janet Yellen, Aussie DeFi, and then Crypto Zombie. So a lot of DeFi Degens in there, other macroeconomics, and just everybody somewhat related to the crypto space other than Russell Brand. Just giving you guys an idea of what you're going to listen to. It's all going to be in 2x speed again. And here I go.
On the other hand, there are
I might listen to it in like
1.75, and we recognize that innovation in the payment system can be. On the other hand,
and before this woman speaks, I do need to say that she has been negative as hell toward cryptocurrency traditionally, and she doesn't know anything about crypto. It just like her knowledge of it seems like that of like an infant in 2017, which is like, wow, there's less to know. But you're like years behind, and it doesn't seem like you understand much, and it's been awful. It's been really awful, like listening to her speak before. So it'll be funny to see what she's saying now.
There are benefits from crypto, and we recognize that innovation in the payment system can be a healthy thing.
Yes, welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily. My name's Austin. In today's video, I want to share with you the top 5 crypto news stories that you need to know as an investor. So, like always, check the timestamps down below in the video description, and let's jump in, starting with the Secretary of the Treasury, Janet Yellen. And just for perspective, the Treasury Secretary has never really been a fan of crypto. After her tenure as chair of the Federal Reserve, which used to be, she famously said back in 2018 that she was not a fan of Bitcoin because of all the criminals doing illicit transactions on the network. That's her words. Well, as of today, the news is this. Treasury Secretary Yellen now says crypto innovation can be a healthy thing. Like always, I want to share with you this 90-second clip, then I want to finish with my thoughts. Watch this.
Wow.
Get through an interview without asking about crypto. In particular, Russia just said that they would accept Bitcoin as a payment for their energy resources. What does that say to you about where we are in the crypto conversation?
Well, crypto is obviously grown by leaps and bounds, and it's now playing a significant role. Not
You
really
never
so much
knew
in
about it.
transactions, but in investment decisions of Western
Yeah, it's
Americans.
grown, but
and,
she just never had a clue.
The president just issued a couple of weeks ago an executive order tasking us and other agencies with thinking about the regulation of crypto.
I mean, you're less skeptical about it than in previous. I mean, we've been talking about it together for a long time now, and I think you.
Not only did he task them with thinking about it, but he made them learn more about it. The government came out with a program where they actually have to educate people about cryptocurrency. And so herself and everybody else probably had to learn that much more, which made them roll back on some of the stupid things they were saying. It's silly, bro.
You've had a skepticism about crypto technology.
I have a little bit of skepticism because there are, I think, valid concerns around it. Some have to do with financial stability, consumer investor protection, use for illicit transactions, and other things.
Right.
On the other hand, there are benefits from crypto, and we recognize that innovation in the payment system can be a healthy thing. We would like to come out eventually with recommendations that will create a regulatory environment in which healthy innovation
And
can
then finally, cyber is the one.
Wow, Yellen is, in the smallest way, warming up the crypto. And I get it. I know it doesn't feel like she said all that much. She basically said cryptocurrency innovation can be a healthy thing. We're researching it. But this is significant to me because this is the first time, I believe, we're starting to see the ice thaw a little bit. For years and years and years, it was just a no. Crypto used by criminals,
Because
no
she
use
finally
case,
started
no
to
value. It was
read.
always a no. Well, cut to 2022. Today, Yellen has altered her
It was
mindset
like,
on this
just
new
learn to
innovation
read a
space.
little. Read a little bit.
telling me there's
Jesus.
Yeah!
Now, many of you are probably saying, who cares? Who gives a damn what this lady thinks about crypto? And I get your mindset. I understand where you're coming from. But the truth is, she is the United States Treasury Secretary, and what she says carries a lot of power. Give me your thoughts down below in the video comment section. What do you think? But let's keep moving. And this is our second piece of news out of 5 today, so must watch all 5. But number 2, the South Korean tech giant LG Electronics has officially added blockchain and cryptocurrency as new business areas in its corporate charter. So what specifically are they aiming to do with crypto? Well, LG added 2 distinct crypto-related objectives during its annual general meeting on Thursday. The objectives included the development and selling of blockchain-based
Forgot
software,
the guy
as
can
well
just
as the
attack
sale
that
and
thing and not
brokerage of
really
cryptocurrency,
have to
leading
suffer
to
from
conjecture
it.
whether LG would establish some form of crypto exchange. So they're saying that their objectives is to 1, sell blockchain software, and 2, potentially sell crypto. At least that's the language they use. Now, even though they said it, when asked later about the company's intention to start their own crypto exchange or platform, an LG spokesperson did temper any speculation by stating, "Nothing has been decided yet. We just mentioned business areas in a broad manner." So we will see. This is what LG is telling us today, though. And just as a reminder, little perspective, the tech manufacturer has been on a warpath of NFT adoption and integration as of late, announcing earlier this month that they were working on a line of smart TVs that are fully NFT capable. So one big crypto step followed by another. I love it. And next piece of news, number 3 out of 5 in today's news stories, Ukraine
Say
officially
burn
launched
happened
an
before
NFT
region
museum
or region?
on Ethereum and on Polygon. So if you like those two altcoins, you'll love this. Each NFT in their museum,
Yeah.
in their Warline collection,
So they'll
will
have
cost
one
1.5
and then they'll
Ethereum,
get burned.
and funds from the
I'm
NFT
gonna do
sale
it.
will go directly to the Ministry of Digital Transformation. Pretty interesting. What this means to me is that nation states are using the ETH network. Nation states are using the Polygon network. Now this museum, as you can imagine, isn't a physical building, but rather a website. Its collection, made with the ministry support, chronicles recent events in the war between Russia and Ukraine, including personal reflections from both Ukrainian and international digital artists. But there is a catch. Everything on the site is available for purchase, with each image connected to a non-fungible token minted by Fair NFT platform, which uses the Ethereum blockchain and Polygon network. All images, however, remain hidden until sold, meaning you don't know what you're buying until you purchase it. As the museum puts it, you unveil the truth buying meta history. Very interesting. Either way, networks are being used. Huge adoption for these 2 cryptos. And next up, story number 4 out of 5 today, Rio de Janeiro to now accept cryptocurrency payments for taxes. This is to begin in 2023, and they're not just accepting Bitcoin, they are accepting Bitcoin and
Ugly out
cryptocurrencies.
here,
We don't know yet which
man.
cryptocurrencies. Brazil's second largest city said it wants to become the first within the nation's borders to accept Bitcoin payments for taxes. The
I'm
report
like,
from
they're
Bloomberg
just
Linea
getting
outlined the
so many
announcement from the
cards
city of Rio de
against me.
Janeiro, indicating that residents will be able to pay IPT,
I have
guess
4
IP
cards in my
using digital
graveyard.
assets as
Well,
of next year.
these
So this
2 I
is
put
pretty
there.
cool.
It
Now,
should
unfortunately,
like
they will be
2.
immediately
But like,
converting
how the
those
hell are they
cryptocurrencies
like
to
clearing
fiat.
everything? What do they
Many
do?
other channels will just show you these
two?
headlines, will always go into
Jesus.
detail, will always give you the full story, because the municipality wants to work with companies specialized in converting cryptocurrencies into Brazilian real. Read a note from City Hall, meaning once locals transfer the crypto funds, they will be automatically converted to fiat. So a very small step forward, maybe even a medium step. Well, maybe small because they're converting to fiat, but a step forward nonetheless. They also mentioned NFTs.
I don't
The
really
report
just
warned that the city
want
wants to enter the non-fungible token world as well.
normal
Some
cards.
suggestions
2,
emerged to
4,
create NFTs
6,
with images
8.
of tourist attractions.
We gotta put
So
something
for
out there
tourists,
though.
Something for the locals, something for all of us as crypto enthusiasts. And
Damn.
next up, our final
Bye,
piece of news
Ornery
today.
Goat. You gotta be out
Congratulations, you made it
there.
all 5. Give yourself a thumbs up for you. But Axie Infinity, the altcoin played in game, launches a fee reform on its Ronin sidechain. So things are changing if you're an Axie player or investor, because now you must hold Axies as well as in-game land and /or in-game land for free transactions. It used to be all free, I believe. Now there's qualifications. According to the announcement shared by the team of Axie Infinity on its social media channels, starting from March 29th, 2022, free transactions on its native sidechain Ronin network will be limited. And let's see the specifications. The team states that free transactions at the beginning were crucial for the launch of the Ronin network and the implementation of the native token RON. But the free gas RPC has limited space. So they're saying that it was great at the beginning, but now we can't really afford it. We gotta think long term for Ronin. In order to ensure sustainable growth of the Ronin network RON, new limits have been introduced. Ronin network users now should hold 1 MEO Axie for at least 30 days to get 2 free transactions per month. Holding Mystic
Looking pretty
Axie
ugly.
will allow their
Looking
owners
pretty
to
ugly
offer
for us,
3
man.
transactions per month for free.
I think we're
And
gonna win
also,
this one.
Holding Mystic plans, this limit can expand to 160
Like,
transactions per month. So these are
I haven't
new
been able to get a
limits.
single card out.
I mean, I'm not actively playing the Axie Infinity game, but I kind of like it. If this model was not sustainable forever, I would rather the people getting the free transactions be the people
I'm
actually
pretty
holding
sure
them
like
or
it's
actually
game over
holding the
because like I
Axies.
don't know how
People
else would I
use
be able to.
That's me.
I like
Let me know what
can't
you
get
think.
any cards
But that
down.
is the video. Mine and Austin. And if you're in the Los Angeles area anytime next week, specifically March 28th,
And like
to the
I
31st of
rotated
Los
through my
Angeles,
entire.
we are
We
looking
just
forward
haven't
to
been able to get any
NFTLA
cards
2022,
down.
the first year they're doing this conference,
I'm
celebrating
just gonna-
NFT
I'm
artists,
claiming this one,
and
bro.
we are media
We're still
partners,
not
and we'll
getting
be
good
there. And if
cards.
anybody wants to come out, see,
Getting
support
5s
NFT
and
artists, just
6s.
see this conference in Los Angeles. Use code altcoin10 or altcoin50 for different
It just
incentives
was
like
not
general admission
possible.
or VIP admission. Check out our Twitter for more info, and also use code altcoindaily for the Bitcoin conference, Bitcoin Miami, from April 6th through 9th, the biggest Bitcoin conference of the year. Link down below. Use our code for 10% off. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, I
The war
need
in
a much
Ukraine is
better
solely a
starting
Russian
hand.
abomination with no other component to it. It certainly isn't a resource war with embedded corporate powers. And to even contemplate that makes you a fascist. Hello there, you 5.2 million shimmering souls on a journey of awakening. Together with me, we can do this communicatively. Don't let them shut you down. Don't let them make you dumb, compliant, and passive the way they need you so that they can continue to prosper. Today, we're going to be talking yet more about the complexity in Ukraine. Some of you might wonder why I don't tell the stories of the horror of the Ukrainian people's suffering. Well, I feel that's evident and obvious, and probably it's on every news channel. I don't watch mainstream news. It's not good for you. I am very sympathetic and alert to the horror of war. I wish it would end. I wish there was a way out. I condemn Russia's actions. I think Putin is bad. All of those things can be true, as well as other things being simultaneously true. It requires nuance to have open, honest, clear conversations about this. A place where I can safely use nuance and talk openly is when I'm touring live. You can come and see me live in Carlisle, Newcastle, Plymouth, Bristol, Glasgow. There's a link in the description if you want to come. These are fantastic live shows. I do meditations, Q&As. They're at the end. You can leave before that if you want. There's a fantastic stand-up show. I talk about the last couple of years and what we've learned, what I've learned, what we've learned during that time. Let's get on with this story. Link in the description if you fancy meeting me. There are many reasons for Russia's invasion. Some concern politics, history, culture, and territory, including preventing NATO expansion. Not often mentioned, however, is that this small country has 5% of the Earth's natural and mineral resources, including coal, oil, and natural gas, the second most in Europe, lithium for batteries, iron ore for industry, titanium, 20% of proven world reserves for aerospace, and gallium, second most in world for electronics. Ukraine is also incredibly rich agriculturally, first in Europe in arable land, and 25% of the world's volume of black soil, capable of meeting the food needs of 600 million people. This is more than a political war, it's a resource war. It certainly sounds like it because that is a staggering amount of resources. Two things you could say as a result of that knowledge is one, Russia's invasion is likely in part motivated by a desire to control those resources, and possibly, and forgive me if this sounds cynical, the Western response could in part be motivated by some of those resources. There are established relationships between senior officials and even in some cases members of government and Ukrainian energy companies. So it's not absurd to suggest that this could be part of the complex package. And I've got to say, to bring that up doesn't make you unsympathetic to Ukrainian people. It makes you aware of the complexity. Explaining is not condoning. Immense resources translate to immense wealth and power. Russia wants control over them. So do Western nations and transnational corporations, including energy, mining, and agricultural companies. US military contractors, Raytheon and Lockheed Martin, you can go one day without hearing about those guys and their skullduggery, are telling their investors the tensions are good for business, while General Dynamics Corporations boasts that past such disputes have expanded their bottom line. That is almost the definition of a problem inherent within a system. When a system benefits from war, might the system be biased in favour of war? Do you think that? Tell me in the comments below. Stay to the end of this video. We'll reach conclusions together. But do you think that a system that benefits from war might, on some level, be pro-war? The same way that over the last couple of years, whatever you think about the pandemic, what's irrefutable is that there was a wealth transfer. Some of the wealthiest institutions, banks, members of the financial sector, big tech, got wealthier. Given that's their sole purpose for existing, do you think that's a good thing for them or a bad thing for them? Do you think that pointing that out or questioning that makes you a conspiracy theorist or a nut or just an inquisitive, awakening person? Tell me in the comments. The US has committed more than $3 billion in military assistance to Ukraine since 2014, including $350 million worth of weapons recently authorized by President Biden. That is always presented as an aid package, but where do those weapons come from? Does anyone profit from that? Have you trained yourself to see that? Yeah, it's an aid package, we've got to help Ukrainian people. Yes, help Ukrainian people. I don't know enough to say that weapons isn't the answer. I don't know. I hope it isn't, but well, maybe I'm open to that. But what I feel a lot better about is knowing that there were no benefits along the lines of profiteering from resources or profiteering from arms sales. If you had a system that prohibited that, you'd be in a better position, wouldn't you? At least a fairer, more transparent situation, would you? Lobbying and political campaign contributions by the weapons industry will surely be a factor in continuing the flow of arms. To the degree that energy, mining, and agricultural corporations believe they can eventually grab a piece of Ukrainian resources, they too will use their never intended First Amendment corporate constitutional rights to press Congress for more funding. Do you remember in Iraq, when the Iraq War happened, and I'm not saying this is a like-for-like comparison, but I do know that after the Iraq War, loads of contracts were awarded to companies like Halliburton and energy companies. They made loads of money from that war. Then we later learned that that war was a little bit dubious and duplicitous, and loads of people were against it in the first place. Now, this is a different situation, but what we have to extract from this complicated melee are the areas of truth that we can agree on. That's why it's helpful to have some values and principles like don't profit from war, don't have people in Congress that are invested in weapons companies, don't have lobbying by weapons companies or agricultural lobbyists that might lead to favourable outcomes, because otherwise you can't get clear decisions. Do you see what we're trying to formulate? This is not conspiracy. It's the opposite of conspiracy. It's an attempt to prevent conspiracy from being the normal, natural state of affairs. Wars are not only in general profitable to weapons makers and corporations that directly benefit from occupations and any eventual access to raw materials and cheap labour. Justification for a permanent war economy, which best describes our national economic policy, also greatly benefits other corporations. Again, I will remind you of what Julian Assange said about Afghanistan. The goal was not a short war, the goal was a long war. The general goal is to transfer public money into private hands. That's your money that you pay through your mandatory taxes that if you don't pay, you'll find yourself in prison, into the hands of private corporations. And they have to find reasons to do that, because otherwise you wouldn't want to do it. Well, I don't give all my money to these private corporations. I'm not using their services. I don't agree with their aims. You have to. You've given it a tax. We're not charging you for this medical procedure. We're not directly charging you for this war, but tangentially, somehow or another, as if by magic, piff, paff, puff, where's your money now? Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Pfizer. What a coincidence! Financial corporations, part of the largest single sector of campaign contributions to federal candidates and parties, profit from war. They facilitate the selling of US Treasury debt bonds to foreign nations, since most military spending increases the nation's debt. They also provide loans internationally to rebuild war-torn nations and domestically to communities via purchasing municipal bonds with high yields to fill the gap of declining public funding. Past and current military spending equals 48% of all spent federal tax dollars. Does that mean nearly half of all of your taxes is military expenditure? But do you know how in your mind you're like, yeah, but good, the military, they're protecting us. And by the way, let me tell you that I respect a great deal of people, individual service people that are willing to dedicate their lives to being in the military. I know what kind of background you come from. I know what kind of goals you have. There's patriotic support of the country you believe in and have faith in. And I respect and honour that. But a significant amount of this military spending is not going into the pockets of soldiers and men and women that fight in wars and to make sure they've got good kit or, heaven forbid, good care after they've been in combat. That's when it's okay to cast them out into the streets and to leave them littering your cities and towns. No, the money ends up with Lockheed Martin, Raytheon. Do you see a theme developing? Relatedly, federal spending priorities favouring militarism over funding to states and communities have placed great pressure on them to provide basic human and community needs, from programmes addressing poverty, healthcare, education, hunger, homelessness, environment and physical infrastructure. Privatisation and corporatisation of public assets, roads, water, sewer systems, utilities, prisons, schools, airports, rail, bus services, medical services is increasingly the result, much to the delight of slews of corporate entities more than willing to monetise and profit from what had formerly been publicly funded public services. Wow, so there's not enough public money to support amenities you might need, whether it's reparations of your roads or building of your kids' schools or some kind of healthcare, heaven forbid. And then they say, oh look, see, the public sector can't handle it, it's too much pressure,
like,
better privatise
and
that.
it
Where's
should
money
have
going?
gone my way.
Oh, public
but
money,
that
your
one
money, your
car
taxes, your
decided
work,
to
doing your
attack
job.
their
Where's it
guy
go
instead
again?
of the car that I
Raytheon,
wanted
Lockheed
it to
Martin. Are you
attack,
seeing a thing
and
developing
ended
yet?
the
Do I
game.
need to, what can I do? Anything else? What can I diagram? Get some pencils. Smedley Butler, good work, sir, a retired US Marine Corps Major General, gave a speech in 1935 entitled War is a Racket. I know you guys mention it all the time in the comments below. You love that, don't you? War is a Racket. In it, he said, I spent 33 years, hello baby, not in the Illuminati. Wouldn't have it. I spent 33 years and 4 months in active military service as a member of this country's most agile military force, the Marine Corps. I spent most of my time being a high-class muscle man for big business, for Wall Street, for the bankers. In short, I was a racketeer, a gangster for capitalism. I spent some time with the Marine Corps in America, obviously, and I found them to be beautiful, fantastic, inspiring men and women. But to hear a Marine speak so openly, even like 80 years ago, 90 years ago, what do you think your man would make of what's going on now? What's just gone down in Afghanistan? How would someone from the inside see it? I know a lot of vets watch this. Let us know in the comments below if you are a service person, if you've seen active service, how you feel about it. There's no single way to stop gangsters for capitalism, individuals acting as surrogates for big business, for Wall Street and for the bankers. Diplomacy, whether with Russia over Ukraine or anywhere else, simply isn't profitable. I'm sure it is complicated to come to a diplomatic solution. Like, if you went, Russell, you go and do it. I'm sure it'll be hard to go, right, okay, what are we going to, let's work this out then. Putin, no, you're being a bit aggressive there, mate. Now, come on, this is, I'm not saying it's simple, but the fact that it's not profitable and other outcomes are profitable might be a factor in the results that we're given. It stands to reason, really, doesn't it? That the actions that take place are the actions that benefit the powerful, because that's what power is, the ability to determine outcome. Sometimes there's a problem, because there's loads and loads of us, and there's not very many of them. So you need an obedient, compliant media to propagandise any situation and stifle healthy debate, and heaven forbid, unity, solidarity, people coming together to take control of their own communities, to take control of their own money, to take control of their own businesses, their own lives. Heaven forbid that should happen. It also doesn't justify continuation of the largest military presence the world has ever seen. The military-industrial empire, which includes military contractors, prefers perpetual conflict, if not wars, over diplomacy and peace, and will continue to use their so-called constitutional rights to literally weaponise any tensions and conflicts by calling for more arms sales and transfers and construction, maintenance of 750 bases and installations in more than 80 countries and territories. So what I suppose you'd have to believe is the fact that these powerful military-industrial complex organisations are getting what they want is just a coincidence. And the money they spend on lobbying, and the money certain Congress people spend investing in those companies, that's all just a coincidence. And if you point out all these coincidences, and there's a hell of a lot of them, then you are the conspiracy theorist. Not them conspiring, breathing together, operating cooperatively to create desired outcomes. That's not a conspiracy. The conspiracy theorists are the people that go, hey, wait a minute, do you think there could be any other objectives at play here other than the desirable, righteous outcome for the good people of Ukraine? Because, just the involvement of Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, Congress people who invest in stocks, you don't not worry about any of that? No? You, the ones asking the questions, are the conspiracy theorists. How do you feel about that? Hit me up in the comments below. Constitutionalising the rights of military contractors and other corporate entities as separate entities, apart from any individuals, and political money as free speech, represents a different but no less lethal war against the right of we the people, all the people, to self-governance. What a wonderful point, beautifully made. Again, we have to express to you that utmost in all our minds should be Ukraine, the people of Ukraine, people that are directly affected by this conflict, people whose hearts and lives are being torn apart by this horror. That is the priority. Our obligation at this channel is to provide alternative perspectives on the narratives you're given, particularly when those narratives appear to have been put together in order to shut down conversation and debate and to promote outcomes that are beneficial to a particular set of interests. It's up to you to decide whether or not you agree with me. I might be wrong. I don't bank on being right the whole time. I bank on being a participant in a conversation with you, a conversation I'd love to continue having. Hit me up in the comments below. We read the comments. They influence our content all the time. Give this video a like, subscribe. Only 48% of you subscribe. Once we've got all of you subscribing, we'll have even more influence and perhaps more ability to one day, please God, affect the outcomes of serious situations. Although, I'm not holding my breath, although I've got pretty good breath control, so I do a lot of that sort of stuff. And also, if you enjoyed this video, have a look at this one, or have a look at this one. Sign up to my mailing list if you want to, and come and see me live. I'm all over the beautiful country of the United Kingdom. Beautiful cities and towns with great people. It's a wonderful show. Link in the description. Come see me. Stay free.
Shocking report shows the dollar is losing ground against foreign currencies, threatening its status as a global reserve. I'm your host, Steve Van Meter, and thanks for joining me today. A recent International Monetary Fund report shows the dollar is losing ground and weakening against foreign currencies, threatening its dominance as a global reserve. But are they right? Well, let's find out. Let's head over to this headline. The dollar share of the global reserve currencies has been steadily in decline over the past 20 years as central banks turn to non-traditional currencies, including renminbi, to diversify their holdings. Reserve managers have moved out of dollars in two directions, with 1/4 headed into the renminbi and 3/4 into currencies of smaller countries that traditionally played a limited role as reserve assets. And that's one of the big concerns investors have over the long term, is losing the dollar status as a global reserve to countries like China. But is that all going to happen? Well, the findings are in a new paper issued by the International Monetary Fund titled The Stealth Erosion of Dollar Dominance, Active Diversifiers, and the Rise of Non-Traditional Reserve Currencies. A characterization of the evolution of the international reserve system in the last 20 years is thus its gradual movement away from the dollar, a recent, if still modest, rise in the role of the renminbi, and changes in market liquidity, relative returns, and reserve management, enhancing the attractions of non-traditional reserve currencies. These observations provide hints of how the international system may evolve going forward, and what all that indicates is that there is a slow move away from the dollar. But will it actually last? Because again, most people believe China is going to take over as a global reserve at some point. Is that even possible? While China's currency is gaining some ground, there's also a notable shift into currencies, including the Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, Singapore dollar, Korean won, and Swedish krona, according to the paper. This shift is broad-based, and they identified 46 active diversifiers that have shifted their portfolios in this direction, such that they now hold at least 5%, which is still a small but important number of the reserves in non-traditional currencies. But yet still, China's currencies have struggled to gain market share in the global transactions as the government enforces strict controls on the flow of money in and out of the country. And that is an important thing to understand, is China limits its ability for its people to have the currency flow out of the country. And if you're a global reserve, you almost need to have a revolving door where your currency can move in and out without anyone putting controls on it. The latest data from the Society of Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications shows the renminbi remains ranked as 5th most widely used currency for global transactions, unchanged from last year. So can the Chinese renminbi or yuan upset the dollar? Well, unsurprising, dollar's dominance over the world is a near impossible task, as America's deep capital markets and economy is seen unparalleled. And that's the conclusion of investors after Washington's freeze of Russia's dollar's holding. And see, that's what the story is really about, is this conflict with Ukraine has allowed the United States to effectively freeze another country's dollars. And that's what everyone's looking at. Is the United States too powerful? Is the dollar too dominant? Well, we can effectively shut everyone off from using our currency at any moment's notice. And that's why you're starting to see talk about diversification away from the dollar. But does that mean the dollar's role as a global reserve is ending? Well, we'll see. Created fresh impetus among central bankers to rethink the security of access to foreign exchange reserves. The move fueled speculation that countries such as China could redouble their efforts to unshackle itself from greenback-denominated financial system and look for alternatives. While Goldman Sachs and Credit Suisse have flagged threats to the dollar supremacy, finding a valid replacement is going to be extremely challenging, according to funds from Brandywine Global Investment and JP Morgan. And, of course, not to leave out our friend Jeff Snyder, who's talked about this for a long time, saying the dollar isn't perfect, but there really is no alternative to it right now. There is not even talk of an alternative. Besides the strength of the world's largest economy is unparalleled, treasuries are still one of the safest ways to store money, and the dollar remains preeminent beneficiary of haven flows. And now, if your portfolio is denominated in dollars, well, I've got something for you. You should check out Portfolio Shield compared to what you've got now. I'll put a link up in the corner here in the description below. You'll be glad you did. Now let's talk about what's going on with currencies here, because the idea that countries like China are suddenly going to stop using the dollar or going to try to fade it out is really not possible, because when you trade with the United States, you get dollars in return. And what do they do with those dollars? Well, either they hold some of them or they convert them to U.S. treasuries, which are a form of deferred dollars. And so let's look at where all these dollars are.
This is what I think is funny about the current situation, where like all these articles are going around about the United States dollar crashing and this and that. The funny thing is, nobody talked about this 2 years ago when the dollar was actually at like its low for like the last like 10-15 years. It was at its low about 2 years ago. Currently, the United States dollar is at its high from the last like 6 years. It's at its high. It has not been this high in like 6 years. And now everybody's writing articles talking about, oh, and I'm like, I feel like this is due to the fact that people are finally waking up to some of the financial system stuff, and the fact that, the currencies aren't as great as people are trying to make it out to be all the time. But the time and place for this type of article was a while ago. It was like, where was this when the United States dollar hit, 0.89 or like the USD index? Like, where was that stuff then? Where was it when it dipped below like into the 80 something range? Nowhere to be found. But all of a sudden, now everybody's all, oh yeah, that's gonna happen and this, and I'm like, well, United States dollar is like, I get it that for us at home, we're like finally feeling something, because you don't print that much of your money for that long and not feel anything. But now that we're finally feeling something, they feel like they can like say something about it. And I'm like, people, you've been asleep. You're not considering any of the other time during this period where you were asleep. No, you're not gonna consider any of the other time period. Okay. It just seems really, really foolish. It seems so silly, man. They're probably going to destroy this card that was put out. I don't know how many front lines they're going to have, though. But yeah, I just had to say that because it's not that it can't happen, but I'm like, the time period for that to actually link up, that would have been 2 years ago for that to be like an actual case. It's more than likely that the United States will actually start to pay attention to crypto and stuff like that, and hang on to the fact that we are the dominant dollar currency of the world right now. That's more likely. And do something about that. It's much more likely that that'll be the outcome, even though all this other stuff and people are waking up to the idea of the United States. But we've been sanctioning countries for a long time now. The fact that the rest of the United States population is finally paying attention to that, it ain't nothing. It really ain't nothing. It's like, well, you woke up. Welcome. Thanks for waking up today. Where you been? That's like all that is. It's really silly, actually. Like, not even kind of silly, it's just really silly.
This might be tricky. Until the next life.
Well, let's get back to that now. Let him finish.
held outside the United States.
I knew they were about to do that.
The U.S. government publishes the foreign holders of Treasury securities report, and you can see they list from who has the most and on down. And currently, you see Treasuries, which again are a form of deferred dollars, $7.66 trillion held by outside sources. So the idea that all of a sudden that's going to end, well, I've heard that for the last 40 years, and so far that number you saw on your screen keeps going higher because there's not only demand for dollars, but it's part of how the system works. Again, when you trade with the United States, you get dollars. The idea that you're going to take those dollars and say, well, I don't want those, I'm going to put them in other currencies. Well, it doesn't make sense. You put them in Treasuries because that's your dollar savings account. That's how the system works. That's why people aren't moving away from the dollar. Now, there are simply no other options at this stage in the game, as I pointed out moments ago, of course, according to our friend Jeff Snyder and Mark Mobius, 4-decade market veteran and founder of Mobius Capital Partners. The dollar is still strong and will probably get stronger if tensions can continue to escalate. Well, I've got news for you, Mark. The dollar's going to get stronger no matter what goes on in Ukraine. And I want to show you why, and I want you, my friends, to understand as well.
Yeah, it's like getting stronger. Like, it's like, what are they talking about?
Now, unfortunately, the Fed database doesn't have a long history on the nominal dollar for us to look at. But what I want you to understand is when a central bank raises interest rates, they're trying to encourage dollars to come into the banking system. So remember, we talked about this a couple weeks back when the Russian central bank raised their
dollar's strongest it's been in so long, and people are like, yo, but inflation, it's like, well,
those dollars that are outside, not sitting in bank accounts.
Well, look at the bigger picture, though. I mean, I get it, but like,
the federal funds rate is headed higher starting in late
y'all don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. It's like people that don't know shit about cryptocurrency trying to talk about crypto, and it's like, you don't know what you're talking about.
The funds rate is headed higher. What does that mean for the dollar? Well, it's headed higher. And when we start talking about treasury securities, which are deferred versions of dollars, you'll note that when the Fed enters a tightening cycle, we can go back to the 90s, there's a knee-jerk reaction. We're looking at the 10-year treasury yield here in red. Then it pops up and then it comes down. And you see it pops up and it comes down. And you want to note that it makes new all-time lows every time. So at some point during the tightening cycle, and now as we get into the early 2000s, you'll notice that the relationship between the federal funds rate and the 10-year treasury yield gets weaker. It doesn't go up as much. And then it comes down and makes new all-time lows. And now there wasn't even a tightening cycle here, but nevertheless, the yields came down. And so we see here in 2016, there's a knee-jerk reaction, rates higher, and come crashing down to new all-time lows. And the reason that happens is because as the dollar gets stronger in value, as we talked about in prior shows, and I've shown you the relationship, the value of bonds increases. So everyone right now thinks the dollar is going to weaken, but no, when you have foreign holders of treasury securities sitting at over $7 trillion, they know how the system works, and they know the value of those holdings are going up. Now let's look at another chart now. We're going to overlay the 10-year treasury yield with the nominal dollar. I want to show you this. As you see the dollar here in blue rising in value, again, knee-jerk reaction, yields higher, and then all of a sudden yields go down because, again, as the dollar gets stronger, future dollars or treasury bonds, they go up in value and yields go down. Here you see the dollar rising, yields going down, and as the Fed enters this tightening cycle and the dollar goes up, the natural direction should be for yields to go down despite market participants believing otherwise. Now the question now is, can the dollar maintain its status, or is there really an heir to the throne that's even better? Well, the dollar's leading rivals have their own drawbacks. As you can see, gold, which a lot of people believe should be back, but I'm going to tell you, it's not going to work because gold scarcity removes a key central bank policy tool. If central banks can't control the money supply, they can't adhere to respond to changes in aggregate demand. And the problem is, it takes a long time for gold to settle because it's physical metal, and it takes a while to move that thing around. So the idea that gold's coming back, well, that's not going to happen. Now, how about special drawing rights? Some people said, well, that's going to replace it. Well, in their current form, SDRs can't be used as a direct medium exchange, and countries receive allotments from the fund, but they still need to sell the SDRs to another country or to the IMF to obtain actual currency. So here again, those are not designed to be a reserve currency. But what about the euro? Some people think the euro could be, but the problem with the euro is it came to a near-death experience between 2011 and 2013 that still weighs on the minds of investors around the world, and it lacks a shared fiscal policy to match the European Central Bank, and their weak economic performance and bureaucracy, lack of innovation also limits their appeal. So the euro's not really ready yet. But China's the one that everybody thinks is coming, and well, I don't think that's going to happen at all. China's capital controls present a hurdle, as we talked about, and keeps their currency from freely moving about the world. And their global footprint remains tiny compared to the economic power. So everyone's focused on the economic power, but they're not focused on the currencies used. And currently the yuan remains about 1.8% of the global payment system, and that is not enough to be a global reserve currency, not even close. And so what does that lead us next to? Well, you're probably thinking, well, I bet cryptocurrencies, yeah, let's see what that's going to happen. And cryptocurrencies have proliferated into a myriad of coins and permutations, and those coins created by splits and forks mean very few are being widely adopted as means of exchange. And that's what the key part of being a reserve currency is. You have to have people transacting in it, not just people holding it. But that's not the other issue with crypto. Bitcoin in particular is volatile, and it moves around a lot in price, and it has not been a reliable store of value, something that a reserve currency absolutely needs to do. So as the dollar stays down, well, perhaps someday in my lifetime we'll see a new reserve currency coming along. But in the meantime, well, the IMF is just letting people know that perhaps its status is weakening a little bit, but its dominance is going to be here for a long time. I'm Steve Van Meter. Thanks for being fans. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye now.
Yeah, and like I can't, you know, I'm saying this stuff, like I can't, you know, it's not like it's super common knowledge that like everybody understands that this is how money works and like what's happening and stuff like that. But just the fact that the media, I'm like, and I'm not like, I feel like it might sound like I'm like trying to like dislike people that don't have that education. No, I'm more like upset at like media is trying to push that type of agenda in this current climate versus again 2 years ago when it would have made more sense to try to push that type of messaging and like, yo, this might actually happen at this point in time. But like currently, like, you know, for the dollar to have made a 20-point climb in like a year, like, bruh, nah, G, it look way too strong right now. Like, who's talking bad about that? You just expecting a flip of everything that it's been doing? Okay, that's news to me and anybody else who's actually studying the markets. Listen to some Michael Saylor.
The flow into this economy, and it's not there yet, and everybody is loudly endorsing it if you're listening. I think we can all agree that there's natural resistance to extraordinary disruptive change in the human civilization, and there always has been, right? Whether it's electricity or fire or explosives or internet technology or television or music, you know.
Michael Saylor, in a recent podcast on the Crypto Banter channel, reacted to Yellen Janet's statement that crypto has its benefits and that the Treasury hopes to offer guidance on regulations that foster healthy innovation. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen acknowledged crypto's growing role in American finance during an interview on Friday and said she will work towards creating a regulatory environment conducive towards continued innovation. There have been benefits from crypto, and we recognize that innovation in the payment system can be a healthy thing, she told CNBC. We would like to come out eventually with recommendations that will create a regulatory environment for innovation. Yellen was known for being an outspoken critic of Bitcoin and the broader cryptocurrency space during her time as Federal Reserve Chair, and then as a private citizen when she stated in 2018 she was not a fan of Bitcoin. Now that she is Treasury Secretary, Yellen said she now has only a little bit of skepticism, noting concerns about financial stability, consumer investor protection, and cryptos used for illicit transactions. Yellen's more constructive comments follow the Biden administration's executive order earlier this month calling for a whole-of-government approach to regulating crypto, which acknowledged the need to promote the important innovation that might come from the sector. Crypto has obviously grown by leaps and bounds, she told CNBC, and it's now playing a significant role in the investment decisions of lots of Americans. Welcome back to Savvy Finance. A big thanks to all our subscribers and viewers. Don't forget to smash the like button and consider subscribing if you are yet to do so. Let's listen to Michael Saylor's reaction to Janet Yellen's statement.
All right, so is this a change in tune by the US and Janet Yellen, particularly after the executive order? Because I recall that before the executive order, we would never get this kind of talk.
I think it's an iconic 97 seconds, actually. I mean, it's very emblematic of what's been going on over the past few years. I mean, if I were to parse the real significant high points of that, you have Andrew, who represents mainstream media, stating, I can't get through an interview without talking about this. Roll the clock back 2 or 3 years ago, I don't think that was true. So that's the mainstream media embracing the Reformation. Then you have Janet saying, then you have Andrew saying, you know, a nation state has considered adopting Bitcoin as a technology for payments. I think that's a second iconic thing. I think when she says lots of Americans have this as part of their investment strategy, that's a third iconic event. When she says we got to regulate it responsibly, that's nothing more than what you would expect any adult working in an administration to say. You would say the same thing if I put you in charge of something. I got to handle it responsibly. And then the final statement, and Andrew kind of cuts her off slightly, where she says we're going to create an environment where innovation can continue. Right, was a pretty big deal. In essence, it's the White House, the most powerful government in the world,
wild
embracing
so negative
Bitcoin,
about
and also endorsing the crypto
stifling innovation and money flowing into the country.
Reformation right now, and you're
this
watching
is the
history being
thing
made
with them wanting to tax crypto so heavily. That money from cryptocurrency doesn't just come from the United States; it comes from the entire freaking world. The entire world, and so you're getting all this money flowing back into crypto, which then yes, tax somewhat from the United States, tax it some. But to tax every single ounce of it, almost half of what somebody's making, is kind of crazy. It's actually kind of crazy. It's like, I don't know if you should be going that hard. That sounds kind of ludicrous.
of your eyes. One day people will look back at this 30 years from now and say, this is when the entire inversion of the monetary order took place, and more than the monetary order, right? It transcends even any one industry. I think if you roll the clock back to the entry of the Biden administration, the seminal events in the industry were Biden being elected. Biden has been very constructive with regard to innovation. If you look at the financial regulators that came in with the Biden administration, including Janet Yellen and Gary Gensler and the like, they're very informed, very constructive. If you actually, you could say this was a surprise, but if you looked at the written testimony that Janet Yellen gave while she was being vetted by Congress, while they were deciding on her appointment, she said pretty much the same words that she just said to Andrew in that 1 minute clip. She said, we need to responsibly regulate it, and this is a force for innovation and good and progress. And I think Gensler has said the same thing, and I think the other administrators, the other regulators have said the same thing. So I agree. I agree with the observation. Last week was a massive milestone, but if you were surprised by last week, you weren't paying attention for the past year and a half, because all of the indicators that the political system, the White House, Congress, and the Senate are pro-crypto and pro-Bitcoin in specific. All of those things have been there since the election. And I'd say what we saw last week was the President of the United States directing 18 government agencies to figure out how to embrace this new revolution, and reminding everybody that there are 40 million Americans that are pro-crypto and pro-Bitcoin, and there's nobody anti, right? So the only, even in the Senate, Elizabeth Warren doesn't represent her own party or the opposition party view, right? She is sort of a party of one.
When Rand, the host of the show, asked about the controversy to Bitcoin from other people in government like Brad Sherman and some members of the Senate who were opposed to Bitcoin, Saylor responded that there was no controversy because of the fact that the majority of Congress likes what's happening. The majority of the Senate is supportive of Bitcoin. The majority of regulators in the White House are in support of Bitcoin. The majority of regulators everywhere in the world are supportive of Bitcoin. And if what you want to do is use it as digital property, there's not even controversy.
This is such an obvious innovation in the economy that if people got away from the trollish fixation on finding someone to disagree with a hyperbolic statement I will make, they would realize that there's $100 trillion of money that needs to flow into this economy, and it's not there yet. And everybody is loudly endorsing it. If you're listening, I think we can all agree that there's natural resistance to extraordinary disruption.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, we need this money.
Always has been, right? Whether it's electricity, or
Let's
fire,
just
or
tax it,
explosives,
so
or internet
it.
technology, or television, or music. You know, these kids are listening to crazy stuff on records. There's always that. But if we take a snapshot 3 years ago versus today you have the CEO of Goldman Sachs, the CEO of JP Morgan. You just had Larry Fink yesterday saying this is an idea whose time has come. You've got this rippling effect through all the big money managers, all the hedge funds, all the Pulse. 2 years ago, Merrill Lynch didn't. When I started buying Bitcoin, I called Merrill Lynch. They're like, well, we can buy you some gold. We can't buy Bitcoin. We can't even talk about Bitcoin. We'll get fired. All 25,000 of our financial advisors will get fired for even talking about it. Now, those same people, they're sending me every week, crypto research. Wells Fargo, Merrill Lynch, Citigroup, Morgan Stanley. Right?
As stated by Michael Saylor, there are trillions of dollars of money that needs to flow into Bitcoin that is not there yet. It is also true that everybody is starting to loudly endorse it. Bitcoin, and in fact cryptocurrency in general, is going to cause extraordinary disruptive change in the human civilization, even bigger than the disruptive changes brought about by the internet. If you are yet to start investing in Bitcoin, the best time is 13 years ago, the next best time is today, right now. Thanks for watching. Till our next video, stay savvy.
I don't have many creatures with leaks, so I didn't know that you use a creature with leaks and they live. They just get the health.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Shitcoins of the Week. Richie here, Crypto Mischief, where I talk about my favorite thing in the entire world, goddamn cryptocurrency. So I do this show every Friday, and what we do is we basically just search through the blockchains, finding different passive income dApps, and I tell you how they've been this week, which ones have been great, which ones have been, frankly, pretty terrible, what's new in town, what's going well, and at the end of it, I do my Drip Roulette giveaway for Team 2 Drip Roulette, so if you're in that, then you might win some Drip, and I'm giving away an NFT. Today's NFT that I'm giving away is pretty special because it is for the $1,000 Space Ape, because they've just announced that they're doing a huge whitelist competition for their game, which is finally launching, and I'm doing a giveaway of 15 whitelist spots. But
to get like all my creatures burn?
When the game starts, to use your whitelist, if you win it, you must have one of these NFTs, and I'm going to be giving one away. So that's cool. That will be one of the prizes for Drip Roulette at the end of this video. So let's have a look at today's market. How are we doing, hey? Bitcoin, 44,000. ETH, 3,000. BNB, 415. We don't care about these. This is shitcoins of the week. We want to go all the way down to the very bottom. We're going to find some other stuff. So this is a new project, which I spoke about a couple weeks ago, called Treasury Island, okay? I'm going to make a dedicated video on the advancements that they've done for this, but this video just frankly haven't had time. So I thought I'll put it here first so we can talk about Treasury Island and Bucky's Farm, which is just open. So this is an interesting story, right, about a dev who was being malicious and taking too much of a reward fee, a huge reward, dividend fee for people engaging in the app. So they actually took it over, took the keys from the app, and they started to run their own one. So it started as this Treasury Island using the B Farm token. So I staked in here. As you can see, I've got a huge available dividend of $1. Nice. But I do expect that to go up. Yeah, I staked 1,200 B Farm tokens in here, which was a couple $100s, a couple weeks back. But I'm not expecting so much from this platform as this is, because what we want to have a look at is this Bucky's Farm. This is the next layer of this. It's their way of moving out of Treasury Island, but still using the B Farm token. And in the end, the B Farm token is going to be used as a whitelist pre-sale token, I guess, or whitelist, not sure which one they're going to do, for getting into their new dApp, which is good. Okay, so I do expect to see a big uptick in the price of the B Farm token near the time of when that's ready. So that's great. So this is Bucky's Farm. Link in the description for this. I'm going to go into this right now. I'm going to show you how to do it. At the moment, there's 75 players. It's brand new, right? There's not many people using it. There's 71,000 B Farm tokens in this, and it's been running for 3 days. So if we come into the white paper, right, it says Bucky's Farm dynamic ROI with average investment ratio. This is supposed to be fairer for anyone who's going with a small balance or a big balance. You're going to get a fair ratio depending on if you are a whale or a shrimp. Hire farmers at a fixed price of 1 B Farm each. Farmers will earn you B Farm. The more farmers you hire, the more B Farm can be farmed for you. You can earn about 1% daily on this. The AIR is the average ratio between the contract balance and the number of players. That's how they say it. The purpose is sustainability. It limits the rewards and that each person can farm.
We did pretty awful
Anyone who farms
yesterday,
bigger than the AIR, the farm reward will be limited
I'm
based on
still
the
in
AIR
solar
value
gold
instead
after
of
that
farmers.
performance
So it's
yesterday.
working
I'm
away
pretty
like
sure we
a
did really
trying to
bad.
protect basically the platform. They're using this AIR idea. Who can play? Anyone can play, but there are some rules. You cannot hire farmers more than the amount you're staking in the banker. So that's why I referenced this here first. So I have 1,200 B Farm staking in the banker, right? So therefore I need to only be able to stake 1,200 in Bucky's Farm. So currently, the B Farm token, as you can see, since its inception has been on a general downward trend. Popped up a little bit there on the launch of this farm, but then it's fallen back down again. This is why they are going to be using the B Farm token as a pre-sale token, because it should see that anything that you're earning on this later down the road, when the dApp is out and ready to go out, then you should see the value of your B Farm become more valuable. So with more use cases, tokens generally do get more valuable. So first, what you want to do is you want to buy this B Farm token, okay? So you can purchase it here with BSD. You can either buy and stake in the banker, which you're going to have to do if you want to buy it and use it in Bucky's Farm. They're linking it all together. It's quite smart. So I've already staked 1,200 of this B Farm, which means I can now use the other B Farm I have in my wallet, and I can stake that. So I'm going to take 1,200 of this B Farm. I'm going to approve it, approve the spend, and then with that, I'm going to hire the farmers with that. So then what am I earning now? I'm earning the dividends being paid out in BUSD for holding my B Farm with the banker. I do expect these dividends to grow as more people realize that the only way to get into their new dApp is going to be going through the system, right? That's what I'm showing you right now on Shitcoins of the Week. I expect a more dedicated video on this in a few days. So now I put it in here, right? So I had 1,200 staked on Treasury Island, and I already hired 1,200 farmers. So if I want to go in again, I need to put more BUSD in on the other side until I can get on this side. That's how it works, right? I'll link both of these in the description. I'm going to link every project here, right? So now I have 1,200 1,200 farmers, and they are going to earn me more bee farm, okay, where I can then withdraw my rewards or compound in. Also, this has a very nice referral bonus. So if you are a shiller, you can get 4% per first downline, then 1.5% for second, and your third downline is 0.5%, so 3-level referral system. Fantastic. So very nice. I'll be coming back to that at a later point, just to let you know about it. All right, cash cow. How's this going? This is like drip, but it has no responsibility. That's why I quite like it. I'm not really into any of the drip,
But it has no
I'm talking about
responsibility.
future drip fork, which I'm interested in because I like the theme. But generally, I'm not too into the drip forks. I just like drip. I like drip. But this one has no responsibility. There's no airdropping. There's no team building. It's just you against the world, shilling it to get referral links. That's what I'm doing, right? So this is cash cow. You can buy cash on PancakeSwap. Then you would put your cash into here. Link in the description. Now, link in the description for cash cow. The one catch is you need to put a wallet address into the deposit box before you deposit. So mine's in the description. If you want to use mine, go for it. Then I would get some rewards from you. But like I said, there's no airdrop. That's why I like it. No responsibility. Just DJing this, right? Total DJ. It's going pretty well. So I have 1,800 in my deposits, paying me 1% daily. So that's $88,000 at the moment. I will be paid out for 365 days, just like drip. So my max payout is going to be $29,000 at the moment. I have compounded 54 cash so far. I haven't claimed out this yet, actually. So I've managed to compound $200. Here I have 15 cash, so $67. I can either claim or compound. What we're going to do, compound that, right? Just continuing to compound the hell out of this. Imagine having like 1,000, 2,000 drip when drip was day one. That this is my kind of idea here. So I'm just going to compound it like hell, get to that max payout, then reap the rewards. That's my time with this one. So that's what I'm going to do. Compound for the win. So that is basically cash cow. Going very well. How's the price doing? This is cash here. Price has mooned, dumped. Now I expect another moon. I think this is going to really catch on because it's so simple. That's it. What else can I say? 1 minute introduction. We're already pretty much there. They do have a DAO. If you hold about 2,300 to 500, this cash in your deposits, you get into the DAO. The DAO will offer you pre-sales on the next DApp being released by this team. So that's one incentive to put your deposits up high. I think I'm going to be able to shill myself, refer myself into the DAO. That's my I still have 1,200 in here in my balance, speculating, waiting for that moonshot to see if it does actually come. Spacefield game, this launched yesterday. Well, the miner launched a while back. What do I have? I have 79 space treasures, and I'm going to compound this again. I just keep compounding this. Compound for the win, right? Compound it, and now I get a 40% bonus. Every time compound, bonus goes up. So I get a higher and higher bonus. Every time I compound, the more bonus I get, the more space treasures I get, till finally I'll be able to earn loads of this stuff. So that's what I'm doing. Yesterday, they did launch the spaceport. Let's have a look at the spaceport. The spaceport had a pretty good effect. I made a video last night. I don't know if you saw it, but my video when I made the video was here. Now we're here. Look what I did. See that? It's the power of community, right? So a lot of people aped into this. For this, you need LP tokens. Please look to my video that I made yesterday to learn how to make LP, how to use this stat. I'm just going to show you how it's done in this short amount of time. And here we are. So the price of MTR, which is the liquidity token, I think is really cheap at the moment. The more people who go into this, the higher the price of the MTR token. So by getting early, you're being able to compound while the price is low, and when the price goes up, you suddenly just have loads of cash. That's how things work. You get 5% daily for minting MTR. So I put in my liquidity tokens here. Click on that to add the liquidity. And so far, I've minted this much. So I'm going to claim this. I'm going to see if we can get that into the single stick for 7%. So claim that there. Right, it's worth nothing at the moment because, again, the price is low. As more people enter, price goes up. You'll see someone try today, they tried to sell some, see if it works, and it does work. So now this is working perfectly fine. As you can see, this is a machine. You've never been in a machine. It's a machine. Welcome, my friend. So yeah, I have that there, so I can go max.
Damn.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Just gave it a chance to die.
Yeah, no, we stick. There's no minimum to stick. Give me that 7%. No, not working. Okay, good. So I took off that 2, now it's going to go in. Yeah, because I had a warning message there. Yeah, so that goes in there, and I get 7% on this side, and I get 5% on that side. Both of them churn out. Eventually I can bring it here, sell, and turn it into liquidity tokens, at which point I could either split them or hold them, decide what to do with them. That's it. Does also have a great referral bonus. I've managed to refer 25 people so far.
Cool.
Shill for the win. People go all out, shill into win it. Yep, and that's that. So cool. Next. Alright, so this is pretty interesting. This is a node project. This will be the node section of today's shitcoins of the week. No.
It's a little annoying that it got that strong.
Okay, this is a new node project called Horde. Now, we are all well aware that the problem with node projects are that when people go in the first week, then it moons, then it gets lots of attention. Everyone thinks, wow, this is going to be a gold mine. Then people buy, then they dump, right? So all the people who got in very early make loads of money and shit on everyone who comes in after them because essentially node projects can be massive Ponzi's. So Horde are trying to fix this. This is zombie themed. I like that. There's actually a zombie theme to this section. We're going to look at Horde, we're going to look at Tomb, we're also going to look at another zombie project at the end of this video. It looks pretty cool, but I'm not sure if I'm going to go in or not. I'm just going to show you it. So, but this is Horde, right? And their idea to fix the node price problem is that the price of their nodes will always be stuck within peg, right? Managed by a smart contract that will never go above 105, it will never go below 95. Therefore, everyone who purchases their nodes will be able to always profit from selling them. But your node degrades or decays like a zombie does. Yeah, their skin goes all falls off. That's why it's called Horde, right? It decays after 300 days. Your node is gone. Yeah, that's the kicker. So of course I aped in, right? Here's the soul paper. The Horde is coming. So the one thing we all know is how I already explained to you how it works. So this is their extremely confusing map. And this is how I'm going to explain it to you, right? Look at this. Right. Right. User purchases a new plot. You can only buy them on their site, by the way, right? You buy 10 tokens, 10 Horde tokens. Then you create a node. When you create a node, 60% goes in the reward pool to pay out all the other people who have nodes. 20% goes in the treasury, kind of like an own fork, where they'll take that money and put it into safe high yield protocols to earn more yield and build that treasury, right? And 20% goes in the Horde pool, which is basically marketing deadly. Okay, then you put it in to
take 6 damage.
Your node will pay you out 0.1 Horde token per day per node. Just like strong.
Why wouldn't you just attack with the fucking confused dude?
A boost NFT to earn more yield. The NFTs are not yet out. Then you can build another plot with your rewards, compounding it, or you can sell your Horde token into any token you want. When you sell your token, there is 10% sell tax, and this 10% sell tax goes to the Horde pool, which is dev fee and marketing, right? And yeah, that's it. Yeah, the Horde pool goes to team and management, new talent,
Or I can give it
Innovation
a
marketing. So I like it because
one.
they're honest about
This
where
thing
the
has
money's going. Okay,
two,
they're getting
right?
paid for
No,
this,
it
but
has
why not?
one
We
at
created
the
it, and it does look cool. So let's ape around it. So yeah, so if I do
but
take Horde here, right, we'll see what I'll show you what I mean about the token thing. It's sticking to that peg. So we go. Of course, the chat move would have been doing this. Look at that. So you would think that you could just buy this at 95 and sell it at 105, and buy it at 95 and sell it at 105. But remember, there's 10% tax, which means that you can't actually swing trade this back and forth. That's one of the reasons why it's there. Also to reward the team for their ingenious idea. But since it's launched, you see, it just stuck around this. So the game is to wait for it to go down to 95, purchase your nodes at the cheapest price, right? Then sell your nodes when it's at the highest price. But
They're finally going down in supply.
So what I've done,
a
I
little
created
bit.
one plot. It's 10 Horde tokens to make a plot. So that
Raising
was
to an
about $1,000.
insane
And I
amount.
created one. As you can see, I've earned 0.2 Horde so far because it's been 2 days since then. Rewards are paid out every 6 hours. So at the moment, if I'm going to do this, that means I'm going to have to wait quite a long time. This is a cool calculator. So this is a node calculator. Cubo, we're not doing you yet. Hang on. Cubo $7. Paid like $13 special. Cubo, come on. So I'm going to use strong because it is essentially the same apart from they degrade after 300 days, right? So node count. If I have one node and it costs me 10 Horde token, right, to make that. And you can see here, I will be able to compound my second node after 97 days. At the moment, with that amount of Horde, after 300 days of just compounding, I'm going to have 13 nodes, right? Not bad. Okay, that's the plan. Compound for a year. But I'm probably going to get 4 or 5 of these. Let's see, we have 5. We have 5 nodes. That means I'm going to be able to compound my first node after 19 days. And by 300 days, with 5 nodes initially, right, which is about $5,000, we are going to have a whopping, 100 nodes, fully maxed out wallet within 300 days. So that's why I think the 5 node purchase on Horde is going to be a bit of a banger. And with the price being, like what we said, price is a little bit under 127, that means that we're earning $1,185 per day after a year if the price stays in that. That's pretty nice. But will it work? I don't know. Is it worth gambling $5,000 right now so that 300 days from now you're going to be earning 1,000? I mean, even 30 days from now you're going to be earning $300 a day. I mean, it's crazy. Very good. Next node, Angel token. So Angel is sitting $5.88. It stayed very stable for this entire week. I'm really happy about that. I can claim my stuff, my rewards. I have some more rewards, which is great. Just claiming this and compounding. As you can see, my nodes are all upgrading. I've sold out all my boosters, but I will have some more booster spots available soon. If you use my booster code for this, then you receive Angel token, and I receive another booster node, which would be these guys down here, which pay me 0.075 Angel per day. My next upgrades are coming in fast. 4 days until these 2 are upgraded into the blue node, and then once we have the blue one, then I can wait 11 days and they will be nemesis. So within 20 days, I'm going to have 2 more of these, and all my other guys are just coming along nicely. We are 34 days for these ones, 41 days, good 26 days, going really well. So soon I'm going to have my node army fully pumping on this, and then we're going to see, like, I think, huge explosion. We saw 1,000 new nodes created only this week in Angel nodes. I think it's going to be an absolute printer once I'm ready with this. As long as the price stays on $3, I'm good. I'm good. Cubo, what we saw there, Cubo dumped. Again, where's Cubo? The hell, man. $7 per Cubo. Oh, God. So I made a video of this. I put in about $3,600 into Cubo, and I bought a mini node. And I thought the price was going to bounce really well. But since I've actually put in this, current downtrend is just continuing. I haven't sold any Cubo yet. I haven't claimed any Cubo yet. I'm just in the same position I was last week, essentially. I don't know why I'm talking about it. I just like saying Cubo. Cubo. So once this loads, we'll be able to see. Yeah, I have one node. I've accumulated 33 Cubo for now. $256. Funny story, it's been stuck on $256 for about a week because the price keeps coming down. But that's okay. So I could create another node right now. I could create a plank Cubo. I'm saving up for a nano Cubo. I want to get 100 Cubo and then throw in, then 100 Cubo, then throw in. I mean, at the moment, to take 100 Cubo actually is not as much, nearly as much. If I went in and I bought another mini Cubo, it would be 250 Cubo plus 250 die, right? If I did that right now, I mean, I'm not talking insane money anymore. Yeah, we get it for just over $2,000. So I could wait 2 weeks and got it for $1,000 cheaper. This is the problem with nodes, right? I mean, I think Cubo's going to go up. They're releasing every 3 soon. They've got adding lots of utility to it, so I think it will go up. But the whole idea about these nodes are, like, when is your best entry? When's the best time to actually grab these nodes? And it looks like I was a little bit too hasty to purchase. Mars Colony, I got on day 1, right? This is awesome. We'll show you this last week. My land on Mars, this is on the Harmony blockchain. We're going to add another node today. I call these nodes, I guess they're not. So this whole back 10 here, I'm upgrading multiple. Then we have this other back 2 now, which I need to fill out. We have 93 colony to collect.
What, dog? I can't sing.
Meaning that now I can upgrade this
you
one.
gonna be a hater.
Then, in about 2 days, I'm going to be able to upgrade the final piece of land. I'm going to start profit taking on this. The price has gone down since last week. Last week we were $3. I think we're down to $2 now, which is, you know, fair enough. Yeah, $1.76. But if I'm making right now $44, that's $77. So before it was about 120, so we're about half of what it was a week ago. Guess we've seen a bit of dump, huh? Yeah, we saw that. Lovely. Whatever. I might just keep compounding that if the price is going to do that. I'm not sure. But yeah, so I've collected that. Let me just refresh that. Give me my stuff. Harmony's really slow, right? And we're going to talk about that next, actually. The reason Harmony's really slow. Well, because Harmony's really slow, there's some projects which are actually moving away from Harmony, or they're staying on Harmony, but they're branching out into others. And actually, we're going to talk about how DeFi Kingdoms is actually doing that. They're going to be branching out to their own blockchain. I don't know if you knew this. DeFi Kingdoms is a great project on the Harmony blockchain, but they are making a sub-blockchain on the AVAX chain, where instead of farming for Jewel, you're going to be farming with Jewel for crystals. Yeah, so we're going to be getting involved in that for sure. I've got a butt ton of Jewel. Just keep collecting. I haven't sold any Jewel since it opened, because I'm really bullish on it. I think it's going to be one of these. Alright, done. Sorry, splattering away there, but Jewels, crystals. Right, so that's that done. So now we can come to my land on Mars. We can come to my plot, go to this one, right? We're going to upgrade. It's got 200 colony. Actually, yeah, 1 day I'm going to be able to finish my mission here. That's awesome. See that? Compounding to the win. If everyone did this token would be worth millions instead of you guys selling the shit all the time. How about you guys don't sell for a week so I can sell? Just 1 week, that's all I need. 1 week, then I'll go back to compounding. Alright, so we're building that, leaving me with 80 colony, and I'd be earning
Man.
46 colony a day now. Earning 46 colony a day, making $80 a day. Lovely jubbly. So that's the end of my nodes portion. Nodes. I'm not going to talk about strong. Don't want to. Okay, into Tomb Forks. How about that? Let's talk about some Tomb Forks. So Tomb still.
When are my hunt going to come up? What about my lightning strike?
Still has $400 million locked. Tomb has not been on peg again all week. Really close. Just so close. Just not getting over that bump. Go to the cemetery, I can get some profit. I guess what do we have in here? We have a whopping $24. Amazing. So I'm just not really looking at Tomb. I haven't sold anything, haven't gained anything, just waiting. But we come into base. Base is doing really well again. I just held this. I've been kind of selling, farming, and dumping on this for a while actually. Yeah, current price is almost where I bought it, $2,800. Thank God. We are well above the price of Tomb on base. Going really well. So all I'm doing, we come into Agora. I have based on Tomb LP because they're managing to keep pretty good, right? And we earn that $28. Thank you. Grab that. And in Acropolis, I have the D shares. Just recovered in price. Fantastic, got claim. And I have $129 in here. Lovely to see. Lovely. $129 based on. So I'll be probably selling that, I think, because I don't really have a huge bag here. All I'm doing is trying to get some kind of income while Tomb is being annoying and under peg. But Tomb will come back above peg. Mark my words. And then I'll be ready with T-shares. Lots of T-shares. Ready to do it. Let's do our mandatory sweep through Excalibur on Phantom, just because we do every week. How are we doing? We have gone... So we stayed exactly the same price, actually. I have some rewards here. Again, we have another $168 of rewards, so let's harvest that grail. Alright, and by holding this in your wallet, you get paid dividends. So I just harvested that, and for the week, I can collect $40 of Phantom now, and $16 of stable coins. $56. This is going up like this every week. I haven't actually put anything else in here. Got on the pre-sale, put that in, and I'm just about reaching ROI now. Very nice, very nice. Let's go over to DeFi Kingdoms. So this is on Harmony. This is what we need to talk about. This new blockchain they're opening on AVAX, right? The AVAX side chain, their own blockchain, basically, where instead of paying the gas fees in AVAX, we're going to be paying the gas fees in Jewel token, which Jewel is the farmable token and the currency of the DeFi Kingdoms game. Now, I'm not much of a gamer. I'm a farmer. I haven't actually played the game. I watched some videos, and actually there have been some side quests and stuff that people have been able to go on in DeFi Kingdoms to, you know, finally put their heroes to work. The price, a couple things happened with DeFi Kingdoms. Interesting, right? While we were going really well, the price went all the way up to about 40. I went up to 22 dollars you guys so went up really, really high. Then they made a decision that the thing is when you're farming DeFi Kingdoms, they lock a lot of your farm rewards. They don't really want to claim them. I'll show you what I mean. For example, you farm $1,000 with a jewel, but then if you claim it straight away, you'll only get about 20%, and 80% will be locked for the year.
Like him
so
not being able to get rid of those
people
cards.
not,
I don't understand how I have that many spell cards.
Rewards the longer
and they just gave me none for so long.
Buy locked jewel token. So people were just withdrawing or claiming, right, and harvesting from the farm, and then selling their locked jewel token for a lower price to people who wanted to buy it, because they saw the potential in the value of the token further down the line. But because that was allowed, it just dumped the price totally hell, because of course people want money now, they don't want money later. As smart people bought the jewel, and it just dumped the price. So that's why that happened, actually. Nothing to do with people not using the game anymore. But it looks fantastic. I haven't actually looked in here in ages. So I'm in the garden. As you can see, it's slow as hell. That's why they're moving out of Harmony for now, because it just doesn't load very fast. Harmony's really slow. Yeah, Harmony's so slow that you can actually just go to thebank.com and it will show you here. So I have, in my pool, I have Jewel M1 that I put in initially ages ago for about $500. That's grown to $2,000, which is great. Now 205 Jewel, which is about $1,400 worth of Jewel at the moment, these current prices, but if I claimed it right now, then they would be locked for ages. So that's why I'm just continuing to farm, I'm not claiming anything. And my X Jewel, which is in the bank, is worth 288 Jewel M1, which is $2,000. So that's all fine and dandy, right? Yeah, if I view, when you plant your apple seeds in the garden, you will harvest Jewel. So if I come in and I look at the seeds, yeah, this one's here.
Phantom and
so
Avalanche,
I could now claim.
I don't understand how those should really take off in 2022, 2023. Like some of the best blockchains disappeared.
So they decided that they were going to make their own chain. So I guess it must be like the dock, maybe? Perilous Journey by one, multi-chain, Harmony Bridge, Terror Bridge. What is multi-chain? Because what we're going to want to do here, eventually, it's not time yet, but we're going to be moving our Jewel over to this new blockchain that they're opening to get involved in this crystal.
Oh my god, and it just shoots the supply right back up. What is making the supply go up so
Perilous
often?
Journey is, I missed it, okay.
Like, I want to read,
by one, multi-chain,
I need to
Harmony
read the white
Bridge,
paper and figure that out.
So there's nothing yet that I can see anywhere.
Can't beat this shit if the supply goes up this much.
Find out about it yourself. Do your own research. How about that? But yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move most of my tokens that I have in the bank. I'm gonna move them into this blockchain and I'm gonna start farming for this crystal token with this because that's great. And I'm hoping maybe I can catch one of the next challenges. I do have some heroes, I just never use them. Never use them. Here's another one. This looks similar, doesn't it? This is Defira, right? Enter Defira. So this is basically a fork of DeFi Kingdoms, which I'm farming on, because why not? Let's farm everywhere, eh? If you watched shitcoins a while ago, I was telling you about Tranquil Finance, and now you can use Stone token with one token, where they stay pretty much the same, where you can utilize the value of the Harmony 1 token, which I really believe in. Once they get their downside of like being really laggy in network, they're going to really take off the one network. And DeFi Kingdoms isn't leaving one, they're just moving away for a while, which is a good idea. They're expanding to other places. But on DeFi Rack, the one I was using before Hermes Protocol, they stopped their rewards. So I took out my Stone, Stake 1 and 1 liquidity tokens, and I put them into DeFi instead, because now I can get higher APR farming here. Pretty awesome APR, actually, in this place. And I don't know what it is. I guess it's a game. I don't care about the game. This one I'm gonna farm it down. So like everything's kind of similar.
Blade flies in this deck?
Kind of similar.
Pretty sure I do, like don't see half the cards in this deck.
Apart from this much similar, we have bank, market, farm. Market for purchasing tokens and farming liquidity, bank for single staking, farm for farming and dumping. Once she loads again, Jesus Christ, thank God this isn't live, eh? Yeah, I mean this one here is ST1 for Storm and 1. For 128.7. So I put in $1,000. So far I have $29 that I've farmed so far. So it's going to be a long process. I should put in more than I get more on it, I guess. But yeah, so that is another farm in. And last thing we're going to talk about. Right. This is interesting. So this is a drip fork, a Korean drip fork. Drip is actually huge in Korea. The whitelist has already ended. They got $1 million. So they got 800,000 Clay tokens. This is on the Clay network. If you want to get on the Clay network, go to chainlist.org and just type in Clayton. You'll find it here. Or just go to the site, and up here it will say connect to wallet. And it will find you on your MetaMask the Clay RTC, which would be this Clayton mainnet Cypress. So now I'm in. I don't have any Clay token. I haven't bridged anything yet. If you do want to bridge, apparently you can use belt.fi to bridge over. Here's the bridge. You go here to, I guess, to Clayton. I haven't done that yet. Do it on time. But this is, so if it earned 800,000 Clay token already, plus $1 per Clayton, so yeah, that's like $1 million. $1 million raised so far for this. So, I mean, it's a drip fork, right? I'm not really into drip forks, like I said. I just believe in drip. And I'm not into Splassive. I know a bunch of people are. I just don't think Splassive looks really good. And they say they haven't played their game coming, but their site looks like garbage. So I don't believe that their game is going to be good, because blockchain games are really, really hard to make. You need to be a fantastic games developer. It takes years to create a game that's any good. So I don't believe that it's going to work in the long term for Splassive. But this, just even from this site, looks unbelievably fantastic. You have to hold NFTs instead of, you know, in drip you have to hold BR34B.
Well, that's a little interesting on him, because he goes into a bunch of shit
and the roadmap,
all
pre-launch,
the time.
public pre-launch, and whitelist pre-launch. Okay, that's what's happening now. Then the service launch of the NFTs and the DApp, then their DAO, then their hard ROI farming, and at the application. And game. If their play-to-earn game could be better than Splassive's, I mean, by looking through the site, they're also KYC'd, which is great. So I'm really interested in this. I think it might be an absolute banger. And so, you know, they have an NFT store. Is it already running? Like, you can move around. You can like buy things for your NFT. Notice something in Korean. I don't know. Can you change the language? Can you change the language? No, you can't. Love it. Can't even change the language. You speak Korean. Korean. Love it, love it. So, I mean, this is something that you might want to check out and be aware of. Get into their Telegram and find out more about it. I think it looks bomb. I'm really interested in it. You know, staking, deposit it, farm with it, farm with Clay. Oh, this is the reservoir. Okay. Team, KYC team, apparently. They're all called Alice. Okay. Oh, this isn't finished yet. Okay. They haven't finished the website. See, so we're early. Not as early as finding the, I wonder what that says. Notice. How you to English. Yeah. That's right, I can Chinese. Available after service is open. Okay. So yeah, nothing's available yet. But what I'm going to do is, I'm pretty interested in using this. I don't know if I'll build a team or not, because like I said, I only really want to airdrop with drip. And I mean, I could build a team, not airdrop you guys. Is that alright? So we'll see, but I just really like the look of it, and I'm enticed by all of this. Very enticing. It looks amazing. It looks fantastic. So yeah, that's something to check out for. I'll leave the link for it in the description. You can do your own homework there and get into the mediums. It looks like everything's in Korean here too. Great. So maybe I'll learn Korean.
She's going.
So that is the end of today's shitcoins of the week, apart from our drip giveaway for drip roulette. So let's get that done. How are we doing? We're up to 700 drip in the deposits for drip roulette. I think about 800 drip. I'm going to be raising the bar of the prizes. I think 800 is good. But at the same time, I'm also going to be raising, that's right, the entry level. At the moment, we're still 2 drip minimum to play this. I want to get up to 800 drip. We're going to raise that entry level. I think it's not, maybe 10 drip, maybe 10 drip. I might just go totally mental with this, see what happens, because we're getting a decent amount of drip in here now. We can actually generate some pretty good rewards now. So if I can actually give out big prizes, you know, 700 drip is 7 drip a day. So we're 35 drip a week. 36 drip a week, almost there. Maybe up to 3 drip. Let's see what happens. I might buy more drip, because drip price is very juicy. $40 per drip at the moment. Have a look at this. This has been my drip purchasing so far for Team 3. Rich or Wrecked. Get into Team 3. It's a low tier airdrop drip team, actually. So as you can see, I put in $4,000 so far. I bought at 0.11 per BNB. I bought again 0.11 about a week later. And I bought at 0.14. So these are my buys. So far for Team 3, I've added up quite a lot of drip into it so far, which is good. What's that adding to? 76 drip so far added to this, so going well. I'm hoping to get up to 200, 300 drip. I have about 10 grand I want to dump into this, but I'm just buying slowly and catching those dips, waiting. The longer that takes Forex to announce the next developments for the, you know, drip and animal farm, they can see the price continuing to go down slightly, which is great time for purchasing. Wow, we're 0.98 per BNB. Oh god, I should buy more. Oh shit, I just lost. Annoying about drip, right? But now I need to run this again. So bear with me while I run this one more time to get the numbers. Alright, so we are 240 in here, 235 have more than 1 drip, but remember it's 2 drip minimum to play. So if we do spin on someone that doesn't have that 2 drip minimum, we're just going to pass them by. So 235. 235. Okay, let's spin this for the winner of 1 drip. Yeah, first prize 1 drip, or 6 prize, I guess. 1 drip. Spin it. 197. Jesus. Lovely jolly. 197. What a happy little ding dong. 197. You have 2.48 drip, sir. You have won yourself 1 drip. Congratulations. Horse miss. Okay, next prize is for 2 drip. $77. 77. With 1.48 drip, mate. Sorry, you just don't have the mustard. You need 2 drip to play this game. You don't know that? Come on. Hydrate. Buy more drip. Get it in there. No wonder drip's $40 if you only have 1.48 of the stuff. Let's spin again.
I like this.
163. With 10 drip, you just won yourself 2 more drip, buddy. Next up, 3 drip. You know what? It's a funny story, right? Number 1. Yeah, first guy to ever get into drip roulette. The one guy who watched this video and ate the fastest. He's like, Richie, I support you. I'm totally up for this. You know what? This guy's never, ever won drip roulette. Congratulations, number 1. You've just won yourself 3 drip. Finally, he's thinking. Finally, you put in 35 drip as well. You never won anything. Well, now you have 3 drip coming to you. Congratulations. Hopefully it's not as long a wait until you win the next one. Okay, next up, 8 drip. Fifth, 158. 158 with 2.82 drip. You just won yourself 8 drip. Nice. Well played, my friend. Okay, and the big prize. 11 drip. Oh yes. That's why we're all here. That's why you waited till the end of the video to find out if you have won yourself 11 drip. And did you? $103. Congratulations. Let's see if you meet the criteria. With 18.47 drip, you have won yourself 11 drip. Perfect amount of drip that you've got staked there to win the big prize. Okay, and we have the prize also, which is for the Space Ape NFT. Watch my video on Space Apes, right? And then, because you won this, then consider getting yourself into the competition to get whitelisted for the game. Because really, it's going to be a banger of a game. I love these NFTs. They're fantastic, and I'm really happy to give one away. We have these here, Space Ape NFTs. Really happy to give one away. So these are the Alberts, and we're going to spin for one. Let's do it. Let's ape it.
Answer the call.
52. Great. 52. Well done. With 33 drip, you just won yourself an NFT, a Space Ape. Great. Floor price 0.25 BNB, or possibly able to earn you insane passive income once the game launches and get you that whitelist spot. So consider what you can do with this NFT, because it's very smart, it's very useful. So that has been Shitcoins of the Week. I've been Richie, you've been fantastic, have a great weekend, and don't get wrecked.
Hey, this is James Pelton. I have another project for you today. You get a double dose of James on this Friday afternoon, so lucky you. But this is a project called Horde, okay? And the first thing I noticed when I visited this, I like their theming. That set it apart a little bit different. There's a few other things. I did an AMA with their team, which you'll see here in a little bit. But another thing they're doing that's a little unique is most node projects have lifetime rewards. That's how they advertise it, is hey, buy a node and you get lifetime rewards. But what ends up happening is that means that each node created is going to be constant selling pressure for the lifetime of the project, which eventually we've seen kind of makes that unsustainable at a certain point. So what they're doing is they're giving you rewards, but it ends at a certain point. So it's about 300%. So it's actually kind of similar to drip in that. Like there's a max payout. Another thing that they're doing is they're really focused on this play-to-earn zombie defense game. And I love tower games. I love games in general. I'm a sucker for games. I'm a sucker for nice guys. And this project has both of those. So I'm a sucker for this project. Okay? I really like it. They are KYC'd. Another thing they're doing a little bit different that I like, they have this liquidity management that you see here. What happens in a lot of projects, maybe we've talked about this before, but if people buy their nodes in the native tokens, we'll say Horde token, then what happens is some of that goes into the reward pool, but some of that, if you want to sell it and invest it, you have to sell that Horde to get something. Nobody's going to take Horde token when you go to invest it. So what happens is as people buy nodes, there's actually a sell pressure to get it out of the treasury. So this Horde team has this liquidity management to try and bypass that so they can invest it without having that sell pressure on the node creation. So I like that. They are KYC, they're not doxed, but also their development team is not taking any token allocation. So if this was a rug pull, it would be the worst rug pull that I've seen probably. There's a team of 9 founders, so we talk about this in the AMA, but they kind of each have their own strengths and their weaknesses. So I like that. I do like their white paper too. It's called a soul paper. It's kind of enjoyable to read, and here you can get a little bit look at their NFT scene. So all in all, I think it's a pretty cool project. I'm going to be investing in it. Another thing, they're not doing a whitelist.
I gotta buy more elephant money, bro.
Everyone's going to have equal chance to get in. That white list, I think this video out quick because the pre-sale is going to be on the 21st. So you have a couple days, and then they're going to do the public sale on the 22nd, and then eventually they'll get out their game. I think it's like a tower defense zombie game. Yeah, I really like the theming. I thought about coming on with zombie makeup to like be part of the video, but then I realized I didn't have zombie makeup, so you just have my normal face. So, but anyways, here's my AMA with the team from Horde. All right, well, this is James Pelton, and I'm here with the team from Horde. Thank you guys for coming on the channel and just talking a little bit about your project. If you wouldn't mind just kind of starting by introducing yourself and kind of talking about how you came to the Horde project.
Hey, so my name's Tommy. Thanks for having us here today, James. Really appreciate bringing us here to talk about what we're doing and why we're doing it.
Yes, my name is John. Jiving on Discord, and I have been in the crypto space since 2016. That's when I bought my first BTC. Actually, still hodl it, not out of free will, but because Binance Pro won't let me withdraw. So.
Oh no.
We are two founding members of the team. The team consists of really a set of guys from different skill sets, different backgrounds.
Oh no,
we really all have something similar with regards to the love of the crypto space. We really formed together because we saw the problems in the space, especially in the DAS category, in the DAS sector. We've all been there, we've all heard about them, awful stories that come from this sector, and we really wanted to see, the idea came from seeing if we could do anything about it, if we could build something that we thought was innovative in this space. We brainstormed all the ideas, what we would want as an investor from this type of category, and we started building it from the ground up. Here we are, many months and many hours of blood and sweat later, we have got a protocol that we're so proud of, and we have really been holding our cards close to our chest, if you will, because we really have made sure that everything is 100% before we've revealed another layer. So this is why all of a sudden it seems like we've burst on the scene, because we've really been working hard behind the scenes just to deliver something that we're not only proud of, but we're sure that when people come and see what we've done and how we've approached this sector, we're really doing something special.
Very cool. Do you guys want to talk just a little bit about, so again, we have so many Node and DAS projects that have come out. Do you want to talk a little bit about what just sets yours apart and like why, why people should invest in you opposed to all these other myriad of Node projects that are out there?
Of course. So I think it's not a secret that sustainability is probably the #1 issue in this space. So we really feel that by concentrating on this aspect, we've managed to alter quite a few things in our protocol that is going to definitely pull on and give us true sustainability, which is this sort of ever-reaching goal for everyone. So what have we done differently? Well, first off, we're not offering unrealistic lifetime rewards. If people want to be part of that ecosystem, we don't want to just, we don't want to have someone buy Node and then just carry on getting lifetime rewards. This is just such a bad business model. We've put in a limit on rewards with regards to each block gives you a 300% return on investment in Horde tokens. By putting this limit in, isn't the only thing. What we've also done is we've added something called liquidity management, which acts as a mechanism for us to stabilize the rewards. So why would we want to do this? Well, I'm sure we've all been there where we've had daily rewards being paid on a value dropping faster than the stone. We have added this liquidity management to ensure that rewards stay stable and continue being worthwhile receiving, no matter what market sentiment. That there is just two parts of really why we stand out.
Okay, could you talk a little bit more, you don't have to get too in depth, but a little bit more about what that liquidity management looks like and how that's going to work?
For sure. So to start off, it's we are paired with BUSD instead of BNB, and that's sort of removed the roller coaster ride of the bulls and bears, because really, who wants that when we also want a lot of newcomers, and newcomers don't want that roller coaster ride. So this is actually a big part of it. And so what the liquidity manager do is, and we use the soul swap for this. Our token is traded on the soul swaps, both pre-sale and launch, and after that it would be the soul swap. You can't buy it at Pancake. It simply just decline.
Took 5 damage.
To check the liquidity pair every time.
I don't think you thought about that.
So we would constantly know, even if 1,000 people bought in the same second, we would still know how the liquidity pair would look after every single transaction. What that allows us is for a counter swap to be set in place. So when we see it drops below a certain point, we simply counter buy or counter sell, depending on upper or lower bound being hit. And it's simply that simple. And then we have added the 10% sell tax because we know people would start swing trading this, and it would be so easy because it would just be the same every day. So we added the 10% sell tax. So yes, you could swing trade, but you would get like 0.5%, and you would pay 10% tax. So that's nobody's going to do that. It's simply not worth it. And so that's basically how it works. It is a little more complex, and I could talk about it for 45 minutes, but I think you get the point of what it is.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I think that's one. It's cool to see how each project in this space kind of learns, a little bit more. Like, oh, hey, this has been a problem in some of these other projects, so here we're gonna put this in place to counter that. So I keep my ears open because I ever want to go do a project, I can take just all the good ideas I hear and steal them all. So I like that.
This is really where how we've got to this place where we are now. By not being involved in the crypto space for many years, we of course have learned mistakes. We saw as being critical investors ourselves what they're doing. It's easier to say something than doing it when you're just on the outside. But when we've started building this project with all of that in mind, we've not stopped with our criticism and scrutinizing of this protocol. And this has led to many changes as we've built this, and definitely keeping that in mind with regards to how we've kept adapting to problems that we're seeing. And we're like, okay, this caused a problem. How are we going to solve this? And because of our dedication of providing this really truly sustainable project is really just through our own method of trial and error. And it took a long time and many hours to go down every path that could be. And we finally got to a stage where we were like, wow, this is what we needed. And it wasn't a certain point where we got to, it got to a point where we asked so many questions, scrutinized our own protocol so many times, that we actually had an answer for everything. And this is why we're able to throw ourselves into the AMA world, into the interview world, and get our videos out on YouTube, and just be open as we can with the community, because we're pretty sure that every question that's been asked, we've already asked ourselves.
Right.
And this is a really interesting concept of where we've come from with that as well.
I would add to this that what we also found out is that when you're doing something like this and you're actually changing things, there are no easy ways. Everything is written from scratch. It's like 5 separate contracts on top of a proxy, and it's just a nightmare in coding. And I can tell you that our lead dev, he had like 15 years experience in backend, and he's like, that's the guy you want for lead dev. But even he's like, this has been so not terrible, but really hard to do, because everything is built from scratch. Because when you pair something with BUSD, everything had to be rewritten. Everything you can get from the internet is made to the native token. And so by that factor, everything just had to be built from scratch. And yeah, it was his idea with the BUSD pairing, but he sort of regretted it many times afterwards.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. No, that's super interesting. And I wanted to ask you, I think part of what you guys are gonna have to do too is just a lot of pivoting. Like, that's just what, we ask all these questions about a project, but then like inevitably things come up that you weren't expecting, and then it's just like, what I'm looking for is can a team see a problem and then adjust to, okay, this is what's going on with that. And actually my AMAs, I'm gonna say this for my community too, my AMAs, sometimes I get criticized because they say, hey, you don't ask very many questions about the tokenomics and things like that. And one of the reasons is that I found projects with really good tokenomics that don't do well. Like Olympus DAO was one of my first. They have awesome tokenomics, revolutionary, but the price didn't do well. And I'm more looking for a team that's able to kind of roll with the punches as they need to, and not rug pull is another important thing.
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely we're quite a large founding team. Okay, so why have we got so many members? We've currently got 9 founding members, and we all have our specialist tasks that we have to do. But one thing that we're all united on is the dedication to make this work. One thing that people are always impressed with is that we've got no team allocation. So if we don't make this project succeed ourselves, we're simply not going to get paid. We're going to waste all of our time. This has enabled us to be so just scrutinise every aspect so much because we want this to work. The team is consistent of 9 founding members, so we all have our specialist tasks. It's quite really a large team, people have said. That's because we all have our special roles to play. But one thing, what we're united with is our dedication to make this work. We have to make this work to get paid to start with because there is no team allocation. You know, it's the only way that we're going to be rewarded for our time is literally through the success of the project. And one thing we've definitely had to do is adapt to a lot of problems in the last, well, since this project was created like 5-6 months ago, it's like the space has moved so much in that time. And this is one thing that we can definitely commit to a community in saying with regards to anything else that pops its head up in the future, which we're pretty sure we've run every scenario, but there's these things that come up. Transparency is always the #1 thing for us, and it's definitely been a word that we've stuck to through the whole, since its inception. In order to be a true community-driven project like we thrive to be, transparency is the #1 key. And this is where things like the Treasury are going to come and take its own role. How we're always in the Discord and trying to answer as many questions as we can, as much in depth as we can. Anytime someone comes to a community with a question that we haven't thought of, straight away we add it to the FAQs. And we really want the community to help us steer where this protocol is going to go. Because through our own sort of our own experience of questioning what we're doing and how we're doing this, is there a better way? That's how we've ended up with such a great protocol. And we want the community to come along with us on that journey in the future as well.
Very cool. Yeah. Can we talked about this a little bit off camera earlier, but I have seen both of your faces, and so we have kind of a little bit of a private docs. But do you just want to talk about your founding members and kind of your philosophy behind doxing, and then where you're at with KYC and audits and those types of things?
Yeah. So for me, it's like I would love to dox, but I live in Denmark, and so it's not that simple. It's Scandinavia, and the banks don't like crypto, the politicians don't like crypto. So I already have packed the boxes and actually moving out of the country next week, and I will be doxing, maybe not next week, but in the nearest future. And I know Tommy will dox right away together with me. So it's not like we don't want to dox, but we live in, I think, 7 different countries. And
if all of my creatures are allowed to attack him, he dies.
One thing to highlight that really is like we are trying to approach this as a real business. We're not your average crypto company with regards to just jumping in and doing this. We're trying to go this about this the correct way, the right way, and also the legal way. So we have to make sure everything is 100% above board before we take it to the next step. And this is what we really want to get across to the community as well, is that we're doing everything we can at each stage. With regards to having a KYC for sure already, we've already had an audit happened on the contracts, which will be revealed soon before launch. At launch, we're going to have a certain audit, which you probably know, they're really not cheap, they're super expensive, but they're the best. So there's many different aspects that we're trying to give as much clarity on security, and given
I'm like, math wins, bro.
It's certainly difficult to do.
You should have attacked when you had the chance. You decided not to attack Big Boy.
So this is definitely something that we're working towards. We can't wait to just, have that freedom to be able to be on AMAs, on questions with our face and everything. Because I know myself as an investor, I love to see a face. I love to see the guy behind the screen. So it's definitely something we're working towards.
Well, I can vouch for John and for Tommy that they have nice faces. Okay, they look friendly, they look nice. I can vouch for that. That's awesome.
I would add that we, of course, both me and Tommy are part of the KYC, and then it's Alex and Hansa also from the foundation, and we are also the 4 people with access to the multisig. So no one else but the KYC people.
I'm not just getting knocked out of Solar Gold this time around. No, that's at least nice.
And we are the first one. That makes the most sense.
I might go for another 30 minutes, and then I'll call it for the night.
I've talked with rug pulls before, and this is not the talk you have with rug pull projects, so I feel pretty good about it. So let's talk a little bit.
Hold the front
because I think people
door.
Who are listening who want to get involved, I think sometimes it can be frustrating because it's confusing about, well, when can we get involved? And like when is what going to happen? So can we kind of maybe just start with like
nobody's. When did this come into play?
And then what's kind of on the longer roadmap after that?
Of course.
Let me see when they added this shit, bro.
Luckily for everyone listening, we're not launched yet. Depending on when you listen to this, the 21st is the pre-sale, the public pre-sale. No whitelist. No one's getting any special conditions. The public launch is on the 22nd, and we can't really make any fair on that. That is really the next big thing on our roadmap from this point. Shortly after that, we will be releasing the first of our NFT scenes. This is an important aspect.
Froyo Farm and Sierra Port are now live.
What it's going to be attached to, you'll be able to put 1 NFT scene on each plot, which will be a node.
Look at that.
This will not only give slight booster rewards, but it will also have a secret utility, which I'm not going to go into right now. But it's also going to give access into the play to earn aspect of the game, and we're really trying to highlight that. Our NFTs aren't there just as gimmicks either. They really are going to be incorporated into the whole ecosystem. And the next part will really be, after the launch, after the NFT scene comes, in Q2, we're going to release the Souls Paper Volume 2. So the Souls Paper Volume 1 was really a light paper to give everyone a general idea of what we're about, what we're doing. But we had an issue when we were writing this, is that we had so much going on. We had so much alpha to give that we realised, in fact, people were missing two of the key points in what we're doing to start off with, which was the decaying dates on the plots and also the sustainable.
Everything was 3. So how did I get every single 3 card that I have, and then they give me a 7?
We really cut that back and made a light paper in order to highlight what we're doing different from the start. And then in the Souls paper volume 2, there'll be a heap more information on how the treasury works, how the liquidity management works. The Soul Swap was a funny thing because we had a mechanism set up.
When did Perpetual start?
We always worked towards releasing Soul Swap, and it came as a surprise to everyone because here's the thing: is it's always been in the background, and this is part of how the bigger picture works. So there'll be a lot more information on how the Soul Swap works. Working towards again some new NFTs coming. I can't really give any more alpha than that, but it's like there's some more NFTs which are not just booster rewards. There's going to be lots of different ways that the utility of these NFTs are going to work. We're going to upgrade the website in Q2. We're also going to have really, like, this is just going to all be leading up to slow leaks onto what the game is going to be, on how that's going to look. And we may be, this is probably exclusive for you, James, we may be branching out into, let's say this is like other ecosystems as well. So there's a lot coming in Q2 as well. And then our penultimate moment is what everyone's excited for, is the launch of this game. It's not just going to be, you know, an off-the-shelf game. The same as our coding, we are in contact with a gaming studio that are going to be building our game from scratch. We have a really good idea of what we want, and the same sort of thesis continues, whereas until we're 100% sure this works like we want it to work, this is good, we've scrutinised everything, is there any changes that we need to make? Until everything's 100%, we're simply going to keep it close to our chest, because it's a case of we've always tried to over-deliver on what we're promising. We certainly don't want to upset the community by promising something and then not delivering. So we've always aimed to over-deliver. So I hope that makes sense as to why we're sort of approaching it that way. And then the long-term vision is, having this ecosystem where people don't only come to earn a daily reward, but they want to participate in our ecosystem. So this is going to be incorporated with a DARS daily payout, with the play-to-earn game that's going to be linked to these plots that you own. And then the NFTs are really, if you want, the glue between the two. And all of the time, we're going to ensure that we're really pushing the community-driven spirit. This is really through competitions that are going to come later in the game, giveaways that are going to work, again, incorporated into the game with regards to the NFTs. And yeah, it's just going to be a really fun ecosystem to be part of, and that's what we really want to strive to with regards to making a fun ecosystem where people want to come and play, they want to come and earn rewards. And it's really going to be special because we've got this price bound range that actually does keep it affordable for most people in this space. We feel that actually there's going to be a point where people are going to come to us, and it might be the first time they purchase an NFT, the first time they purchase participate in a play to earn, first time they participate in a DeFi project. So it really excites me to feel that there's almost an academic sort of aspect there, which again we're sort of been talking in the background about building this part out. And I really like to work towards that sort of vision there of helping people enter the crypto market for the first time using our protocol, and they're going to be able to learn all these different aspects of crypto, of how to do NFTs and play to earn and DARS protocols and everything in between, just through entering our ecosystem. And I suppose that's where we're really going to head to long term.
Very cool. No, I'm excited for this one. Again, I'm always like a little bit excited, but then after I talk with the founders and just kind of hear what's going on, there's some especially that I just, you guys have done a great job with branding and just kind of how you built the project, and I think it's going to be very successful for you. And I like the no whitelist. I mean, it's a bummer for me because I could probably get a whitelist and then make some extra money.
It's a bummer for me as well, James.
Right, yep.
We're in the same boat.
Yep, but I think that's noble, and so I like that. And I'll get this video out before the 21st.
What does that mean?
Just make sure I want my audience to be able to have a chance to get in on that pre-sale.
Yeah, I mean, with regards to the whitelist, it was definitely a sacrifice that we made to show the community that, look, we are different. We're not in here just for money. I mean, let's be honest, like, we're here to make money. This is what we're going to build this protocol, and this is, you know, we're going to get paid for our efforts in building this. But it's certainly not about that. We've all made money in real world businesses and other crypto projects in all of our normal life careers. It really came from a passion of being involved in so many awfully run projects, so many unprofessional approaches to how this space should be run. And this is what drove us to sort of create this in the first place. So yeah, the sacrifice of a whitelist is definitely something that helps people understand you know, our noble sort of sense, if you will, like you mentioned there.
Yeah.
I would add, when I met Tommy, some time ago, it was in a community where I got rocked for 8K, and I don't know how much Tommy got rocked for, but we met and sort of, you know, founded over a rock pool, sort of say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't Ring, was it?
What?
It wasn't Ring, was it?
I also got rocked on Ring. Yeah. So, and you know, I knew that when I had the feeling that it was going to rock, but I also had the feeling that I would be able to get my Roy before it rocked.
Right.
Damn, they got rid of it? How the fuck? I looked down for a second, and they did something.
I would say that most project founders I talk to, they started it because they got run by someone else. So there are some goods that come out of that. So I guess my last question, for people who want to be involved in the pre-sale, are they going to need some BUSD then? And is there going to do a wallet limit, or how is the pre-sale going to work?
So the pre-sale, again, it's the most fairest way we can do this for everyone. As mentioned, no whitelist. You just can come to our official website, excuse me, which is horde.games. You can connect your wallet to the DApp. You need BUSD. So on the pre-sale, which is the 21st, it will be $500 for one P Horde token. Now, what's a P Horde token? That is a representative token of 10 Horde tokens, which will create 1 plot. A P-Horde token, I mentioned, will not be able to be sold for tokens, so there will be no dump after the pre-sale launch with these tokens. If you buy a P-Horde, you have to make a plot. It's as simple as that. So it's really open for people that want to come and participate in what we're doing. There's only limited to 1 P-Horde token per plot. So just to recap, on the 21st, $500 for 1 P-Horde token, which will give you 1 plot. And then the next day for the launch, we are doing a fair launch, which the price of the tokens will start at $10. People have been confused by this, but we're certainly not the first protocol to use this format. We're kind of expecting the price not to stay at $10 for very long. So by buying it for pre-sale, it ensures you get really, a 2x on your money once it gets to the range protocol. So people really have got the option to do both or separate. But yeah, so it's $500 for a plot on pre-sale, and then between $100 and $1,000 for a plot on launch.
Okay, gotcha. So that seems really straightforward, and I like that. Cool. Well, that's all the questions I have for you. Do you have anything else that you want to share?
Yeah, I would maybe add that when it comes to the NFTs, people have been confused about us maybe make it available to swap on different platforms. But I just want to point out that it would be sold in Horde tokens, and when we have the Horde tokens, the NFT cost, it doesn't matter for us if it gets sold again for BNB, because yeah, we got what we needed. So that's why it's possible for us to do without breaking the protocol, so to say.
So you're talking about NFTs sold on third-party market?
Yeah. If and when that will happen, it wouldn't hurt the protocol, as people have been afraid of.
Gotcha. Yeah, do you, the one question I guess people usually have about that is, are you going to take the royalties? Is that going to go into the treasury?
The royalties would, that would mostly be to the reward pool. It could be that the artist, because we will use an outside artist for some of the NFTs, and so there could be something there that I can't, tell you right now because I simply don't know. But if we put any royalties, it would be to the reward pool.
Okay, cool. And you're not doing that on launch, right? Like that'll be down the road sometime where those are available.
The NFT scenes are in the making, and you can actually see one of them in the Souls papers. So they are definitely in the making, and they would come out very soon.
Yeah, the first 3 NFT scenes, which not only, as mentioned before, give you a slight boost in rewards, give you access to the play-to-earn game, also have a secret utility that we haven't revealed yet, but they will also be representations of actual levels in the game. And I don't think I've actually disclosed that to anyone else, but you, James.
Yes.
So, we have Alpha there.
Alpha.
And we're really excited, as I say. We really don't want to under-deliver, we want to always over-deliver. So even though our answers may be sometimes a bit cryptic, it comes from a sense of wanting to over-deliver and certainly not anything else there. I hope that sort of makes sense.
Oh, yes. Yeah, no, that makes total sense. So, well, thank you guys so much. This was super helpful. If you need anything from me or from my audience, just let me know. I'm happy to tweet out about your launch and things like that. Happy to help however I can. So I want to see you guys succeed. So
really appreciate that, James, man. And you, as well as many other people we spoke to, are clearly professionals in the space, and have, you've been around and seen it all. I really hope that you can see that we have got, we've got something special in regards to it comes from a place where, just as a crypto investor and trying to work out how best to approach these protocols, we're really just trying to make good of a massive problem. And we're not here just to, like you say, rug pull or make loads of money or whatever. It's like we're genuinely here to make this space better. And it's a strange one because it's like a cliche to say, right? And I'm sure you heard it many times, but I hope we definitely come across that way today. And we are as genuine as you can be. I mean, the guys on this team, again, hand on my heart, man. Like, they are great guys. They're all kind-hearted, and we're really just trying to solve a few issues in this space and really set a standard of the sort of professionalism that's needed, because there's so many amateurs out there. Yeah. And we're all just fed up with it. I'm sure you are too, right?
Yeah. Well, and people ask me, hey, how come you're always so excited about the projects you bring onto your AMAs? And the reason I get pitched probably 50 projects a day, and then I only meet up with like maybe 2 of them, and I'm able to sort through. Okay, no, these are going to be just terrible. And then when I reading through your guys' white paper and just seeing the amount of effort that you put in.
Yeah, I can't wait to put a limit order on this Bitcoin shit, bro. Oh my god.
I think it's going to be a home run. So that's awesome.
Whoa! We get limit orders.
Just work so hard, and I come from a real business world.
That's so fucking awesome.
This climax we are about to hit just is everything that I work for and everything that makes the entrepreneur in me grow. And it's just, I really hope the vision you see, that it's the same everyone else come across, because that would just be amazing.
Yeah,
that would make it all worth it.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, feel free to if you need me to retweet stuff and things like that as you get closer to launch, feel free. Happy to.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
fantastic, man.
So
guys, thank you so much for your time, bro. I really look forward to seeing the edit of our stumbling of our words. Like I say, it's been a nice casual approach today.
Oh yes.
Because we haven't had this high pressure situation with being live and audience members and stuff like that. So we've definitely felt a lot more comfortable doing it. So I really appreciate that. And thanks for your support, bro. Thanks for seeing that we are trying to really do something different. We are a genuine bunch of people that just want to make a difference really in this space. So we're really looking forward to the future, and definitely be interested in coming back for an update in the very near future. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I'm totally down for that. And the only piece of advice I give you is, I guarantee you the launch is going to be rocky, and just don't let it get you down, and don't let people are going to come in and say, oh, I shouldn't have done
it's fine. I mean, we've got a few members of the team that have been involved in multiple crypto projects, launched many projects before, so we've got experience in that, and we're using their leadership to definitely help us come to terms with how crazy and hectic this time.
Yeah, I won't envy you these next 2 days, but I will be in the pre-sale and support how I can. So
fantastic, bro. Thanks so much.
Yeah, nice meeting you guys.
You take care. Bye.
Bye. thanks for watching my AMA with the team from Horde. They're doing a giveaway as part of this video also. There's no whitelists, but they're giving away $200 to someone who finished the video, watched the whole AMA, and is here now. Go ahead and comment below. I watched the whole video, and we'll get you in on the giveaway. But yeah, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe. Appreciate you guys and your support. The pre-sale will be the 21st, public sale on the 22nd. You should be involved in both if you would like. But thank you, and have a good rest of your day.
I can't help you right now, though. You have to go. There we go. Aja.
What's up, guys? I have no information. I have no idea. Everybody keeps asking me, Jonathan, when's Animal Farm going to launch? When's the piggy bank launch going to happen? What's going on with Drip? I don't know. And yet I run a channel where I'm documenting Drip and Animal Farm. And I got no answers. And that precisely is the point of this video. We need communication. We really do. It's a big problem. Because what happens is sentiment starts to brew, investors get tired, and they look to other projects, and that's simply what you're seeing. I'm not going to mention the names of the projects that you're seeing momentum in, but if you want to know how to kill momentum, it's called suck at communication. And unfortunately, that's what's going on. But you're all like, look at this. This is awesome. I mean, it's a scratch-off ticket. It's a nice JPEG image. I don't know what's going on. I would love to know. This is a teaser. It's cool. It's sexy. I love it. But at the end of the day, it's still just images. And like I run a Telegram group, as you guys know. It's one of the bigger ones in Drip and Animal Farm. So if I go by sentiment, people are frustrated because they're looking at the price of Drip. They're saying, hey, that's really cool that like we've got some, development happening in piggy bank, and right now there's no cutoff yet on pigs credits. We're told yesterday was last day, but yet it's still up today. There's just a lot going on, and before you accuse me of FUD, guys, I'm deeply invested in Animal Farm and Drip. I'm simply bringing to attention what's going on in the community and the importance of communication, because if I get comments like this, I'm just showing you, this is an example of a comment I get in my YouTube channel. Here's a guy named Paul. Thank you, Paul, for leaving a comment. I appreciate your time to write this out, and if I was the owner of a protocol, I would listen to investors like you, and I would so let's read. He just says DeFi is already a big scratch off. So you can tell Paul, he's got that negative sentiment. He's so sick of being burnt in DeFi. That's where that comes from. Then he says the piggy bank launch, which is a disaster and everyday pause, has been more people wanting to pull out. Crypto and other projects pumping the last few weeks. It's why people's monies are tied up in a project doing nothing. The dump is coming. So that's the title of this video, is the dump coming? When we get launched into the Animal Farm and Piggy Bank version 2, is there going to be a big dump of dogs and pigs? I asked you guys in the last video, and it seems like 50-50. Now, Forex is smart. I asked him to do this. I'm not saying he took my advice. He probably already had a plan, but I said you have to create an incentive for the first launch day of the piggy bank. You have to create an incentive or else you will see a massive dump. He did. He has clarified and said there will be a 15% incentive for people that buy pigs on the day that we launch. Now, I don't know when that day is. We were told this would be a 10-day. It's over 10 days, blah, blah, blah. You see it. If you're watching this video, you're in the Telegram groups, you're frustrated too. I don't need to come on here and perpetuate the negativity. So what do you do? Well, again, I brought this idea up multiple times, but moving an announcement about a professional PR team, or saying, because I get, like you say, Drip and Animal Farm is community driven. Yeah, I see that. And how's it working for us, right? Now that we have literally thousands of investors, there's 66,000 people in the faucet in Drip alone. There's thousands of people that invest in Animal Farm and Piggy Bank because of the amount of things that have gone wrong recently. And Forex has admitted that. That's not FUD. And I appreciate that he's admitted it. And he's working to fix it. So give him time. We're doing that. We're giving grace. We're giving time. We're being patient as our money in DeFi has been locked up, right? That's a big no-no. But here we are. We're sticking faithful to him. We're trusting the process. But all that to say, now would be a great time to announce a communications relaunch. Launch a Discord.
Oh, come on.
A couple moderators to moderate, start a YouTube channel, and have live YouTube channel content every night, answering questions. So that anyone that has questions, it can be someone on Forex's direct team.
That's just such bullshit that would happen.
Those are my suggestions for the community. I know that I have no weight whatsoever. I'm just one simple YouTuber that really wants the success of Drip and Animal Farm. So instead of fudding, I'm offering an idea. And these are ideas that are doable. You have marketing spend. Use some of that to hire a couple people that are inside the team that
Am I gonna survive this? Holy shit, I survived it.
It's a horrible,
and I'm gonna be able to get
platform.
no.
That I manage. It's just not a great place because it's singular. It's 30,000. It's just
God,
it's a bad
no way.
Piece of development. It should go away.
No way, dude. That is the most ridiculous card, bro. It's one of the most ridiculous cards in the game.
And they get scammed.
Gotta say.
They offer you to
because this is like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 24 damage. Stop.
Telegram has to go. It was cool when DeFi got started, but projects that just have Telegram groups, not working anymore. Guys, things change. I get like moving from point A to point B requires a certain amount of skills and a certain amount of tools, but it would be unfair to say that moving from point B to point C means you have the same people and the same tools. You have to change. That's how you scale a business. It's going to be how you scale a protocol, how you scale a DeFi project. And right now, more than ever, you have so many copycats. You have so many more competition coming into DeFi.
I can't
now,
even.
Forex has something that all those other projects
about the relic right now.
That's his reputation.
I have to get more
That's
cards
his
out.
longevity in DeFi. He's been in DeFi for over 10 years. Forex does a lot of great things well. It's time for him to deploy other faces for his projects. He needs to have better communications. I'm saying that in love. Don't leave me a nasty comment. Don't say, Jonathan, you need to be more positive. No. This isn't about being positive or negative. It's about, if you have a relationship with somebody and there's a problem and you sweep it under the rug and you never talk about it, no therapist would say that's a healthy way forward in the relationship. A healthy way forward is to acknowledge there's a problem, create a solution, and fix it, and move on. And I'm telling you, if these things happen, if the communications change in the Drip and Animal Farm community, you will see momentum return. You won't get the sentiment that we have right now. So, as price falls in Drip, we have a lot of the whales talking about other projects. Again, I'm Forex, I'm bringing in my whales, and I'm saying, guys, I need you right now. If you've made a ton of money off of Drip, which you have, you've literally made millions of dollars. I need you just to hang in there.
and not talk about other projects. Not because it's like if I hired somebody for the Detroit Tigers and they keep talking about the Blue Jays and how Blue Jays might have a great pitching squad this year, or the New York Yankees, their batters, the way they're batting this year just looks really good. It's like, what are you doing? Like, yes, you freedom of speech, you can do that, but again, if you're the Whales and you've been with Forex since day one, maybe show your allegiance, maybe show like your support by offering these ideas to him to help support the channel. So again, I digress. My background is in marketing. Some of you guys know that, and I'm just here to help. I would love to see Drip and Animal Farm really go the distance, and I think some of these things can easily be fixed. I'm not talking about crazy stuff. So people say, is the dump coming? I'd say it all depends on the execution. It all depends how we relaunch. Will we relaunch in health? Will there be a healthy sentiment? Will it be clear communications? Will it be on time? All of these things. And the cool thing is Forex has said he's not going to announce the date and time until he knows for certain. I appreciate that. But without a date and time, you also have that other problem, which is people go, is it ever going to happen? Is it ever going to happen? So let's stay patient. We will stay positive. I wish there was more information I had for you. I know as an Animal Farm investor myself, piggy bank investor, drip investor, these are tough times, and it's okay to acknowledge that. And having your money held up is frustrating. Seeing other projects that are clones really take off and do well, you feel like you got your hands locked a little bit. I hear you. I'm with you. I support you. But hang in there. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt, and let's hope that next week we can see a launch of Animal Farm and piggy bank, and that the incentive of buying pigs truly is an incentive, and people take advantage of that. And the TVL just starts exploding. Because I've always said, if you can start curving, drip up a little bit, Animal Farm up a bit, man, the snowball effect is real. People in DeFi love charts that curl up and to the right. It's like the money just pours on. So I'll be watching for that. You can join me in my Telegram group. I do have a paid Discord group for people that are sick of Telegram, sick of spammers, sick of fudders, whatever you want to call them.
I think on that, I am going to call it.
And that's for you if you like it. Also, again,
hold on,
ending
see how many
tomorrow,
more videos
you
I
have
have
a chance
like, in
to get
this
free
list.
5 stocks. Yes. Only Webull,
This
Webull, because I'm a new YouTuber and they've seen the growth, they've offered me 5 free stocks rather
I
than
had
3
like 4
free
more
stocks,
videos
like a lot of these other promotions. So click the link, get free 5 stocks. It's free money.
But I can't. I'm gonna go lay it down, and my dog is bothering the shit out of me and making these sad faces. Plus, now I'm looking at pancake limit orders. I kind of just want to make like some videos and like lay down and just like look at that and make some videos or write out some tutorials or something like that and teach people how to actually trade. Like how you can trade seriously on PancakeSwap now, not just swaps but trades. Like, wow, this is actually huge news, bro. This is crazy. I can't believe I did not see that until recently. So yeah, I'm excited. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out. If you were hanging out and lurking, nobody entered the giveaway today. Last few days have been kind of slow. It is the weekend though, so I understand. And I usually don't stream on the weekend, so maybe this is what it's like on the weekend. And this one, maybe. Oh, I did get the, before we wrap, while we were wrapping things up, I will show my new design again. So this design is specifically for our trophies. So we like to do trophies, NFT trophies here at Money Match Gaming when we have events. So this is the newest trophy design. It is a floppy disk. This will be for our blockchain games, specifically for Gods Unchained. I might use it for other blockchain games as well, just because I see them as computer games. If it's, they're mostly going to be computer games. So I think this is the oldest state of computer games that I know of. And so I wanted to make, that's kind of been my theme with making these trophies, is to take it to the oldest state of that type of game. And for Nintendo, it's like, the old cartridge. For these, it's floppy. For things like Xbox, it's a disc. Now everything's like digital. But yeah, that's my mindset behind those. So hopefully it makes sense to people. Hopefully you enjoy the look of the NFTs. They have bonuses. The bonuses were on stream there, so that it's not just, the NFTs have some perks to them, and they also have seasonal perks to them. So they have seasonal points that they count for at Money Match Gaming. So we're really trying to give whatever we utilize here a bunch of different uses. Yeah. We also have other thing that I don't have on stream today was our Founders Drive. So our Founders NFT. I recently created. Oh my goodness, it felt like there's sand in my eye. It really just feels like there's sand in there. Like I haven't been around any sand. But our Founders Drive NFT, which is a flash drive. Founders Drive. I thought that was funny. And then it has our arcade machine in it. So that arcade machine that you saw in this, there's a version of the arcade machine in that Founders Drive NFT as well, so people can actually own that graphic, but it won't be the solo graphic. It'll be that with a flashing screen that's new, and the drive rotating around. Oh my goodness, bro! Maybe it's an eyelash in there. I don't know. But yeah, that'll be for founders to Money Match Gaming system, so that you can share the love here, donate to Money Match Gaming, basically get some governance say in terms of what type of protocols and things like that we develop coming down the future, what type of events we hold for blockchain games or traditional games. Just start to get your hand in there, feet down on the floor, boots down on the floor on an esports gaming community, which I do believe this is the way that esports and gaming communities will start to, and teams and stuff like that will start to form in the future. So we're usually ahead of the game with that stuff. Even if somebody gets ahead of us, which often happens, because I would have liked to see, I feel like we had our shot. But even if they get ahead of us, it'll be documented that we did do this stuff really early on, and that we were one of the first. And then maybe they found us and they just didn't want to reach out and work with us, but they used our ideas. So I like to, document the process. It's good for me to look back on, see how far we've come. And again, thank you all for joining us here tonight, or whenever you catch this. Your boy MMG Smurf out. Hello. Why is it on that screen? I don't know why it's there.